3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to episode 201 of Ruse Radio. We are back at it again with a very special guest. Special guest, you are the third member, the completion of the Kino Crew trifecta. It is a pleasure to have you here. Now, drumroll. Please introduce yourself, sir.
All right, my name is Nathan Oelker, and I'm one of the co-founders of Kino Crew Productions. And as part of my dues with the company, I'm, my nominal title is manager of business operations, but I have a handle in doing most of the cinematography. I do a lot of the production, and I do some of the editing, along with Alex and Josh, whom you've interviewed already.
Says the majority of what you do is those three things?
The majority of the business, the business, as far as running the company goes, I do the biz ops.
Forgive me, I have no clue what that means.
Oh, business operations. And then on set, I do all the cinematography. I do I do like my share of the producer duties, which we share among the three of us. And I do some editing. And then editing we sort of share among the three of us as well.
How'd you wind up in this predicament? How'd you end up in this situation?
I don't know. Where should I start? Do you want me to start with meeting Alex and Josh, or do you want to go further back to
I think you start all the way
filmmaking?
Back. Like how you got into filmmaking.
Okay, how I got into filmmaking. So I always just was a creative kid, and I always I like drawing, I like reading, I like playing with Legos, playing with blocks. Any making of something was a hobby of mine as a kid. And
how old are you talking?
I started when I became self-aware of how much I liked, drawing when I was in first grade. So that would have been age 6. And I really enjoyed the thing I liked was drawing trains, because as many little boys do, just making sure it's not work shit. I had a fascinating with trains. I went through my train period. So I liked work. I liked drawing, and eventually drawing trains turned into drawing cartoons. I was obsessed with Garfield. Had a lot of Garfield books. And
you drew Garfield? Or no?
No. I drew I like Garfield. I like the humor. I like the vibe and the style and, the atmosphere of the
Was it
strip.
the first comic strip you read, you think?
Probably.
Or the first one you liked, at least?
Probably both.
Huh.
I also watched the Garfield and Friends TV show when I was a kid, whatever, broadcast channel that was on at the time. Anyway, so that turned into drawing, comic strips and cartoons. I used to draw little, cartoons of cats and things inspired by the, cats and pets I grew up with. And then I created lots of different characters. Like at one point I created a family of hillbilly characters. That was funny. And drew a comic strip based on that. I was also really inspired by the Captain Underpants books. I liked how the two characters in that, Harry and George, how they had their treehouse where they did comic books and things like that. And I thought, that's fun. That's a fun way to...
Dave Finkel? Is that his name?
Pilkey.
Pilkey.
If that's how you say the name, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It sounds like a euphemism for throwing up. Anyway, but yeah.
I like those books a lot too, though.
Yeah, they was fun because it's just this is fun. It's a story about kids doing creative stuff and spreading the word, spreading their propaganda. So, not really. So that was fun. And then I thought, all right, how do I... Well, I also like watching TV a lot, and I thought, okay, how do you make the jump from, drawing still cartoons to making them animated? Because I thought, this would be a fun thing to figure out, because I was always looking for things to fill up my time. I grew up in a small rural town, so a lot of, need to fill my time with things to do. And so I, taught myself how animation worked. I knew how flip books worked, but through, looking at books in the school library and, getting my hands on whatever behind the scenes DVD featurettes I could.
Animation? Or are you trying to do
2D animation. So I taught myself how to do that, and gradually learn how to do it myself by I would create backgrounds with colored pencil and watercolor, and I would draw the animation cells. I'd draw the animation. I wasn't that good at it, but I would, basically do like xerography, where I would draw the animation on a piece of paper and copy it in my family's fax machine, because we had a fax machine, but it was also a photocopier. And I would copy the drawings onto these overhead projector transparencies, like an animation cell. Then I would paint it. And I just taught myself how to do all this from like books and things. And then I would just like I would record it with our family's camcorder. It didn't have a frame by frame option, so I just had to like stop and start it as quickly as possible. So it's really kind of jerky to watch, and like, I didn't have the tech available to like, or the skills to like make the characters' mouths move while they were talking. But I did that anyway, and so I made a whole bunch of these like cartoons about a hillbilly family called the Hillbillies. It was very inventive. I made like a 70 or 80 minute long like animated little feature film, and it's only that long because I like made the exposures really long during the running scene, during like the action scenes.
So if you hadn't done that, it would be like 10 minutes, 20 minutes shorter.
Yeah, probably. I gave my all and I did it, and like for post-production sound, like I didn't have a ability to mix sound. I would just like play all the sounds at once in front of a tape recorder, and then like to add the sound in post-production, I would like quote unquote mix it by doing that, and then like I would just use the RCA cables on the TV by like having the video in one jack from my camera to record it onto another video, just like doing VCR to VCR editing, and then I'd run the sound from either a boombox or my tape recorder with the other RCA cable for the audio, and it'd make all that weird stuff that happens when you mess with the tracking on a videotape because of all the signals going in, but it worked. I have copies of it still, so it'll be fun to watch again. Anyway, so I taught myself animation, and then as I say, I got lazy and turned to filmmaking. And around that time, fortunately though, like that coincided with the rise of like miniDV cameras and like very rudimentary, non-linear PC editing like Windows Movie Maker. So I started like filming on miniDV cameras and editing on Windows Movie Maker, and that was basically like revolutionary as far as like the tech I had.
Because it was free too.
Yeah, it was free, and it also was just like, I can actually like do what I see in actual movies now. So that's how like editing became like my favorite part of the process. And that was when I was in middle school, and so I just like stuck with it as a hobby through high school. And fast forward 20 years later, and here we are.
You were always making films?
I mean, like from the time I was like, well, there would be like breaks, or like I got busy with other stuff, or like I didn't have, a mix of creative collaborators. That I could fast forward to the Kino Crew origins, if that's what you want next. Cool.
Well, I mean, in general too, though, like you say you're bored. Like, what was it that you liked about films? Like, why did you even want to do it?
Yeah, I liked how it just combined all the art forms. Visual arts, music, acting. And photography, and that's like what a lot of people like about film.
Like I think when I really think about it, like when I have like a cool moment when I'm watching a movie, I think of it as like, this is like visual storytelling. This is like they're doing it all at once, like all this stuff. Like, okay, so I just watched King of Comedy, right? And there's a moment in that movie where it's zooming out and he's looking at the wall and he's talking to the wall, and you hear the laughter. So like you hear the laughter and you're watching him talk to the wall. So it's the whole thing is depicting him being crazy and talking to his wall and thinking about, like, there's this voice in his head, and it's telling you all that, but it's not telling you anything. It's not saying any of that. It's just the fact that just the imagery alone says that this is a crazy person talking to a wall full of fake people. Yeah. But then there's the audio, and then there's everything. And that's like stuff like that, I think, is like what movies can do that nothing else can do. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. And things like, film editing, that is a process unique to motion media as well. That's not really a, in that kind of controlled manner. That's not something really that exists with other forms of artistic expression. But I like that all the bits of all the art forms came together because I was always doing creative things as a kid. And also, like, I wasn't interested in video games, really, so I needed something else to do. It was like all my friends in, like, middle school and high school, like, a good deal of them were, like, constantly gaming. And I was like, I want to do something.
Yeah.
And so that's how that came about.
It's probably a better thing.
Yeah.
I can't even game now. I can't even do it.
I don't even know what those people are up to now. I don't know.
There's not good games anymore. I mean, if you go back and play good PS2 games, that would be my... If you're ever going to game, I would just go back and play the classics.
I just like, just do the credits.
Tim raised his hand over there.
Wait, when did he get here?
What's that movie you built the set for when you were younger?
You built a set for a movie when you were younger.
Oh, yeah, of course. No, yeah, when I was in high school, I, like, pushed myself to try making a feature film. It's called The Escape from Death Mountain, and it's like 80 minutes long or something like that. I made it over a period of like, it took about like 2 years of on and on, off and on again filming.
Really?
And then I like...
In high school? So like from 10th grade to 12th grade you're talking?
No, from 9th grade to 11th grade. I finished it just before I started my senior year.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it was like, it was fun and I learned a lot. And like,
it's just interesting because there was a kid in my high school who made movies, but he wasn't doing that. He took 6 months to make a movie and it was done. Like I remember one thing about the movie that was funny is like it would be summer and then all of a sudden it's snow outside just because the continuity error, because it's such a low budget film. What do you expect, you know? So the fact you took 2 years to make a movie in high school is crazy.
Well, I made other like shorts in between there. I was always starting new projects because I was just trying to keep myself entertained.
Yeah.
But no, like there'd be like short films that I would make in like a month or two with friends.
What was a feature-length film too?
Yeah, I mean it's about 80 minutes long. So yeah, like you're a length of like a B movie, feature.
Wow. What do you think of it now?
Oh, I think it was a good learning experience. I still have DVDs of that, of course. That was a good learning experience, and like stuff I learned doing that like informs my approach to producing now.
Right.
Yeah.
That and the election one.
The election movie?
Yeah, it was a short back then.
Oh, how many shorts did you make?
I don't know. I've lost count.
Oh, you made a lot.
Like what election one?
The one where you doing the campaign, like so and so eats garbage.
Oh, that was that was
That was the good one.
yeah, that was with that was like a an earlier group I worked with. It was sort of like a precursor to Kino Crew. Yeah.
An election one?
Yeah, it was basically like a fake election ad that I made with some friends of mine that I did improv class with. And I just wasn't... It was during the 2012 election, which seems so like anodyne now. And I was inspired to like make an extremely like literal campaign ad. And it was literally like the actors walking around. I played one of the parts just saying, I'm a candidate walking through a field and talking on camera. I'm doing things to look humble. It was extremely literal that way.
As literal and as transparent as possible.
Yeah. I just thought that'd be a funny idea.
Yeah, okay. Probably ahead of your time in a way. Right?
Maybe, yeah.
I would say so. Because I bet like if you did that as a meme in like 2018 on TikTok or Instagram, like it'd be completely different than if you do it on YouTube in 2010, 2012.
Yeah.
Like there's stuff I did in high school where I was rapping, and I still feel like if I had just done that 4 years later and just posted it on fucking TikTok, it would have went great. That stuff didn't exist yet. Yeah. I mean, it's weird. That stuff still is new. I mean, all that. Do you like edit your movies? Do you do trailers and all that stuff for social media? Do you guys do that?
Well, did you do your research? I'm just kidding. No, like,
I mean, I don't know. I know you did the loads thing for social media.
Yeah, we got trailers and reels and stuff up there. And bits of promo.
Yeah, because I mean, it's just so much work. So I don't even know. Is it you that do it? Is it you guys that do it? Do you edit it yourself, or do you at least like let someone else edit the trailer? You do everything?
No, we're all in house. I mean, like we get help from like Tim, like doing music and stuff like that. But most of the post production and everything is in house.
Yeah. And then with Kino, how did that start?
Oh, okay. So, after high school, I decided to go on to film school, but it didn't work out. I was going to the Illinois Institute of Art, Schaumburg, and that whole chain of schools is now defunct. Because that was the for-profit art institute chain. I'm not sure about, actually, I revised that. I'm not sure if that whole chain of schools is defunct, but the one in Schaumburg does not exist anymore. And got out early because I was getting like far too expensive. And like going into this, there was no real good guidance on like what to do that I could find with the skills and the like drive I wanted. Like my high school was very small, and like the guidance counselor kind of only had the information to send students to one of 3 colleges: the local private college, the local state college, and the local community college. So in like it was difficult to like figure out like how to make the jump to that. So yeah, went to Illinois Institute of Art Schaumburg. It was there for they did quarters there. Was there for 3 quarters, and it was getting far too expensive. So I basically had to leave, and I started college over again at the local community college, which like felt ironic, but it was actually better because I was like I could pay for it entirely myself and still have like money left over to do other things instead of like, how am I gonna pay this back? And also when I was going to ILS, that was what they called it, the acronym. That was 2009, the exact same time when like for-profit colleges and student debt was becoming a talking point.
Yeah.
And everyone was just like, or I was just like, I don't think this is going to work too well. So I went to my local community college and then transferred to UIC. And the whole time, like a good deal of the time, I did video and film work as I was able to, as I had creative collaborators and things like that. In the time in between, during 2011, I did the level A3 improv class at the Second City, and that's where I met more creative collaborators with whom I'm working with to this day. 2 of whom are in Loads, which I'm sure you'll talk about later. And so after that, when I was in my senior year of UIC, how I met the Kino Crew. It's a fun bunch of stories. So when I wanted to transfer to UIC, I was like, okay, I got to move to Chicago. So got a job at the AMC River East 21 movie theater. So very fitting. And while I was working there, of course, we had a number of Columbia college students who'd, work with us, or not work with us. They would work there too. And they became my friends, some of whom I'm still, friends with. And so first I met Josh through a mutual friend with whom he was going to Columbia. And then August 1st, 2014, that's when I met Alex for the first time. And that's when that was the first day that Alex, Josh, and myself were together in one spot. And we went to go see the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
That's August the first movie you guys all saw together. Wow.
Yeah.
That's not a bad choice.
Fellas, is it gay to remember when stuff happened? No. So that's our anniversary. It's so cute. Fellas, is it gay? Oh, never mind.
I don't. By the way, it is a little gay. I think it's a little gay. Just a little.
Fellas, is it gay to like your guy friends? Actually, like fun anniversary. We 3 went to go see the Naked Gun Liam Neeson reboot this year, and that was August 1st of 2025, and I pointed that out, and I was able to verify because I wrote it in my day planner 11 years ago, and I said the same thing. I was like, fellas, is it gay to remember the day that stuff happened? And we had a chuckle. We took pictures. It was adorable.
You think that's like potential dialogue? That you could use that in something someday. Is it gay to remember the day that something happened?
Oh no, that's just a bit of internet humor that's going around. Like when you see these culture war shills, promoting like that, this like weird like internet masculinity that never existed before, and the people will like mimic, make fun of that by saying like, hey fellas, is it gay to like literally do anything up and, including but not limited to, fellas, is it gay to kiss your girlfriend? They're just, that's not my invention. There are a lot of memes with all that. I find it amusing.
I was watching a video and it was stuff overheard in Chicago, and it's just a girl saying a bunch of stuff she overheard. And one of them was, is it, bro, it's so gay to move in with your girlfriend. Like moving in with your girl. No, it was moving in with your girlfriend's the gayest thing you could do. That's what it was. And it made me think, like, I was trying to wrap my mind around that one. Like, what would be gay? Like, even if you said that and you meant it, like, what would be gay. That's one of the least gay things you can do.
I don't know. That it's just jokes riffing off like how weird, the internet internet versions of masculinity can get from like, pick an influencer. They're a dime a dozen.
My
So-
ultimate theory is that it's all just this weird rebound effect where it's like it got so far in one direction that everybody just like, okay, so you get rid of the Call of Duty lobbies. Literally. Call of Duty says we don't support bullying. We don't want you guys to call each other gay, and you can't do any of that. Now, obviously, this is just a small example, but that's real. That really happened. They said no more bullying on our games. And all this stuff is gone. So I think if you take all that stuff away and then you give those guys nothing, they're going to rebound and they're going to want to do it even more. They're going to call everything gay. Everything's gay now.
Well, I mean, they already do that.
But now they're going hard in the paint. And now they got the Andrew Tates. They got the fucking, what, Fresh and Fit. They got the fucking, who else is like, oh, fuck, we'll count Gary V. We'll count him. We'll count Gary V.
Yeah. People I've heard from by the memes that make fun of them.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't
and
know.
then like I see both sides. I do think like it's like I just think the internet is like a demon. It's just kind of, you're gonna have these people who just appear.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's got good and bad. Yeah, when everyone can have a voice, some voices, everyone can have a voice.
Yeah, and in that, like, if you're a filmmaker, like if you're somebody like me who makes music, whatever it is, you can do that and you have a voice. So it's I can't be
It's a
be mad.
double-edged sword.
Yeah. I mean, and also like I think that stuff's interesting too. Like if you're a filmmaker, someone who tells stories, I think it's always fun to just look at the world that way, right? Because everything is sort of inspiration.
Yeah.
Like I can't remember where I heard it, but it was like if you just took two random ideas and just throw them together and write those down every day, like eventually you'll get some really good story idea. Like just throw something at the wall every day, just to get a plot started. Like that's a good way.
Yeah.
Just take something random, like something you saw in the newspaper, write that down and then just have that, because otherwise it just all flies by you and you forget all of it. But how do you guys write stuff? How do you write? Are you part of the writing process at all or no?
Oh, me, not a whole lot. Well, there's more to the origin story if you want to hear it.
Oh yeah, keep going. Yeah.
Yeah. I can say it briefly. So like, the first time we all met together and was the first time that we all met together in one place. Also went to see a movie together. So very perfect.
Oh yes, so
first
post our
Guardians of the
first
Galaxy
movie,
movie.
post Guardians of the Galaxy. Yes. That's
Yeah. So following that, that was an exciting thing because, like as I mentioned, there were times when like I didn't do a lot of filmmaking because I just didn't have like collaborators or resources. But at that time, I was working at that time when I was going to UIC. I had a student job in the College of Business Administration. And I did some videos for one of the departments there, the Department of Managerial Studies. And like in order to do that work, we would, they would rent equipment for me from Camera Ambassador. Shout out to Camera Ambassador. I was one of their first, I sound like one of these like weird old people. I was one of their first customers. No, but like I was literally one of the first customers that they ever had. Like before they even had their space on 16th Street, I was renting equipment from them to use for the my UIC student job projects. And so now having access to that better equipment and then meeting Alex and Josh and our other friends at the time, I thought like maybe we should make a movie. So yeah, we made our first movie. The first movie we made together was one that like I wrote and directed, and it starts some of my my friends from Second City Improv class, and that was called I wrote down the timeline so I would remember it. The first project we worked on together was it was called WHYNE, WHYNE. It was sort of a parody of like all the pop culture that's super cringy now that like had millennials as the center characters, like my life is directionless, mumblecore kind of moopies.
right.
So it was sort of like a parody of that. We were poking fun at it, not taking it seriously. So that was about a 15 minute long piece, and that's the first project the three of us worked on together. And over the next couple of years,
Like satirical? You say it's like satire?
satire, and also parodied the style.
Okay.
And over the next couple of years, we worked on like, I don't know how many, like so many, like comedy sketches with Tim and myself, the Burnout Boutique sketches, other sketches that were like precursor to that, like video sketches unrelated to it, because this was the golden age of the YouTube. This doesn't really exist anymore either. The YouTube like video sketch channel.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that it's all damn TikToks.
Yeah. It is.
It's okay if I shout, or is that gonna screw it up?
No, it's fine. It's actually like probably the perfect level of shouting. Actually, I should say your shouting was just well contained.
All right.
enough.
Yeah. I don't want your gear to peak or break or anything. But
no. No, I mean, like, yeah, you're right though, because it's not quite the same anymore. I mean, like, even it's well beyond the time of Smosh and all these people. I mean, yeah, they paved the way. But, I mean, for like YouTube sketches and YouTube skits and all that. I mean, there wasn't a whole bunch. Who else was doing
now
that?
It's just watching videos of someone on a podcast and everything sucks.
Yeah.
Wait
a minute. Truly. Julian York, did you ever see his YouTube channels?
Vaguely.
Or YouTube videos?
I sort of remember that from
I think it was
past.
like he had a video called like Hot Kool-Aid, and it's like, I made this for you.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Oh God.
Oh, and I used to quote that. I made this for you.
Yeah.
I won't scream into your mic.
What is it? Hot Kool-Aid.
I haven't thought of that in literally months.
God, dude, that video is so awesome. And he made so many videos, and and they were all cinematic in a way. And there was way before that was a thing.
Yeah, because the thing is, once you once prosumer, consumer level technology could make that hop, skip, and a jump from, prosumer camcorders to DSLRs that could shoot 1080p video. The gloves are off. You could make something even more easily that looked very cinematic, and that's exactly what we did for WHYNE and those early sketches. We used like the Canon 7D. I don't think there are any words after that. Yeah, the 7D.
Just the one camera?
Like the Canon 7D, the first one that could shoot 1080p. The first DSLR that could shoot 1080p video, because using the detachable lenses, you could get that perfect, cinematic shallow focus look, and that was, working that way for the first time was an absolute revelation. What camera is that you got there?
Oh, it's really the lens.
Is it a Nikon or is it a Canon?
Yeah, it's I forget. I got it so long ago now. A Nikon D50-300.
Okay, well, yeah, it's once the cameras with detachable lenses could shoot 1080p or full HD video, it was like, oh my god, you can make something that looks cinematic.
Can't shoot over 20 minutes though, right?
I mean, it depends on the compression and the model of camera.
I remember what it was for me, and I think it's the biggest bullshit ever, is it's a legal thing where it's like, if it's legally a DSLR, it cannot record over 20 minutes unless you hack the camera and you modify it. Technically can.
That is correct. No, that comes from just trade law.
Exactly.
Because the import duties are different if it's a still camera versus a camcorder or a cinema camera.
Physically, the camera can do it. It's just legally it can't.
Yeah, that's why the Panasonic series was so great, because they don't have those recording limits. But it depends on the camera, and it depends on, and there are ways you can hack it.
Exactly.
Like I use the Canon 70D for some live events that I film for friends, because they're easy cameras to use and they're cheap and all that. And those could shoot, I think, 20 or 30 minutes I haven't used one in a long time, but they could shoot, I think, 29 minutes 59 seconds. Until you had to reset it. Yeah. So what I would do is I would have the sound recording separately, of course, because the file could just run. Sound files are smaller, so they could just run through the whole show.
Yeah.
If I was filming a live show. And, I would just wait for a blackout, because so many of the shows that I filmed were comedy shows with blackouts in between. Or I would just wait for a wide shot or a moment where I know the action wasn't too extensive, and I would literally just stop and start recording so I could reset the file and get another 20-30 minute file in.
Yeah.
And then in editing, I would just create the timeline with the sound underneath it, and then just move the video clips into place and just put a black screen in between with some a little bit of fade that you couldn't see. It worked, and I got paid. Yeah. The rest of the Kino Crew story. You want to hear the rest of that?
Yeah, let's keep going. Let's tell it all.
The
Episode of Ruse Radio. Because you know what? It's funny. I've been told this story twice now. I don't think anybody's broken it down quite like you, sir. You're going all the way in.
I mean, I just remember everything.
No, I like it. Because I feel like glad I saved you for last because they both like glossed over. They gave me like a 2-minute version of the story. You have kept the story going this whole time. It's kind of impressive.
I'm like the archivist of the three. So
I can see this.
But yeah, so we made a lot of shorts together. The Burnout Boutique.
I didn't even know about the first one you just told me about. I never even knew about that one. Neither of them told me about it. You're the first one to tell me.
Maybe I'm living in the past too much. The Burnout Boutique videos, the Rust Belt sketch videos, and other projects like Alex's, his student film, The Kick.
Yeah.
That we all worked on that together. That was his, directorial project at Columbia.
Is this all still pre-Kino Crew's actual conception?
This was 2015. This is 2014, 2015 that we made those projects. Then the Burnout Boutique videos, which between me and Tim spearheading those, and the other guys working on his crew and doing some on-screen work here and there. That was like 2016 to 2018, and we did some like other unrelated projects in 2019. Like, because Alex was always had his horror short ideas, so like Pumpkin Pie, worked on together, Head Over Heels, and then the pandemic hit, and of course that was seismic as it was for so many people, and no one was doing really any projects, and then we came out of the pandemic, and just as everyone else was like reassessing their life and what they wanted to do, like you had the Great Resignation, you had other people having realizations about their lives. We finally were just like, okay, we got to start making stuff again. And that's when we got to Cottonmouth. We were going to make Cottonmouth before COVID hit. And originally we were only going to make a trailer for it. And then there were ideas to possibly expand it into a full short, but then COVID hit and everything got put on the shelf. But after COVID let up, we started working on our first project together post-COVID, which still pre-Kino Crew. I don't know if have you met Steve-O? You know Steve-O, right? Steve-O Nystradamus.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, so the first project that me, Alex, and Josh worked on together post-pandemic was a music video for Steve-O and his band Nystradamus, Even the Scale. And that was a lot of fun because that was like the first, creative working together as three since COVID let up. And around that time we were like, okay, what scripts do we have? We just want to start making stuff again. So dug out Cottonmouth. Alex revised it into a full short, and then we filmed that summer of 2022. Released it October 2022. October 1st, 2022.
Okay.
And that whole summer was when we really officially got Kino Crew together, because the difference about Kino Crew versus our previous efforts is it was the first time that we three completely pooled our energies equally for the same entity.
Like Power Rangers when they put all their rings together?
Exactly. All the Infinity Stones coming together or whatever. I don't know a lot about superhero movies. Oh, the jewels.
That was a good one.
Yeah, the jewels. They're jewels, Betty. All they came together, and we finally realized that we're just oh wow. In the past when we worked on projects, it was all of us working on each other's projects, with one of us being the one who was spearheading it and everyone else just helping out because we're friends and we like making stuff. And this time around we're okay, we're finally gathering our powers and all producing it, equally for the same entity. And that's when Kino Crew came about. We spent the summer basically getting the infrastructure together.
It's like if you were dating somebody for a long time, but you never officially dated, and then you said, "Wait a minute, we're boyfriend and girlfriend."
It was kind of like that. I made the joke to them when we got the LLC together, because in between during that summer when Cottonmouth was being filmed and in post production, we basically worked on tying everything together, getting social media together and getting the other business infrastructure started.
Yeah. And
we officially formed the LLC in November. But also during the summer, that's when Josh spearheaded the creation of the logo with a friend of his who's a graphic designer. And that's also when we decided on the name. And all those little bits that you do to, eventually get a business together. And then the LLC was officially formed in November. But when we signed the operating agreement for the LLC, I told him, I was like, now we are business married. So no, it was basically like that.
Business married.
Yeah.
How did the name?
Fellas, is it gay? No.
What is it gay to marry? Is it gay to marry your homies?
Fellas, is it gay to marry your girlfriend? How'd the name come together?
Yeah, the name. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the name was interesting. The name took a while because we didn't want it to be arbitrary. We didn't want the name to be all arbitrary. We didn't want it to suck. We wanted it to be distinctive. We wanted it to be short and snappy. So it took a while because we wanted it to be good. And we also had, SEO in mind.
Right.
So there was a lot of
their prototypes.
There was a lot of discussion that went into it. And we finally decided on Kino Crew because also a bit of internet humor because I'm a millennial. My mind is warped by internet culture. So as part of all the Facebook groups, Facebook meme groups that we were a part of, we realized that Kino was becoming a slang term. It's on Urban Dictionary, the definition that we use it as. It's on our website. How calling something pure Kino was a way to describe a work of cinematic excellence.
Wow,
so
that's funny because when I posted my story, the movies I watch, and Alex messaged me and said a movie was pure Kino.
Yeah, through all the
didn't know that was a thing. I thought he was just.
No, that was an internet thing. We stole it. We stole everything.
I get it now.
Yeah.
I'm going to start saying the pure Kino. Pure Kino.
But, basically, what was it? So we all the memes and stuff that we saw, we were just like, oh, okay, so pure Kino. All right. Maybe something with Kino in the name.
It's got a good
somewhere.
sound to it, yeah.
It does. And it's what that's what they call movies, I think, in Eastern Europe. It's one of the words that you use for a film.
Korean?
Kino. Yeah, because there's Kino Lorber, I don't know what they do. They make the DVDs.
I like this. I really do. I get it. It sounds cinematic almost. I'm not surprised if it'd be a word that means film because Kino sounds cine, Kino.
Yeah, or kinetoscope from the Edison days.
Oh, kinetic. Maybe that's part of.
Well, that's I mean that. Those are the Greco-Latin roots because kinetic means something of motion and kinetoscope, moving eye or whatever scope means. I don't know, Edison stealing patents and whatnot. Anyway, so they were like, all right, Kino something, because we looked at all these memes that were calling movies pure Kino, even if they were cheap B movies. It would be that movie, whatever Corman movie or whatever schlock, pure Kino.
Yeah.
So we thought, all right, Kino something, and we worked on it a long time, and then we were like, how about Kino Crew? Because alliteration in both words have the same amount of letters, so it'll be easy for graphic design when we get around to the logo. And so, no, it was very deliberate, and it took a long time. Also because we had, been members of or tried, different, groups before, and it's you got to make it memorable.
Right.
And, Burnout Boutique, alliteration right there. That was very intentional. And I think we also grew tired of seeing bad production company names that no one would remember, and so we're all right, make it snappy, make it alliterative.
I remember my stepdad had a band once called Get Real.
Oh hell yeah!
It's one of the most generic names.
Was
I've
it
ever
Dad
heard.
Rock?
It was I think it was just cover songs.
Okay, Dad Rock cover songs.
Get Real. It's such a bad name.
Hey, listen, gotta get real, young man.
So yeah, a name is a super tough thing. I even think with Ruse, I gotta get famous soon because.
Well, then you got the radio. See, you did the alliteration too.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, Ruse Radio. I also Ruse Clues is a thing. If I have I could use that. I think I have an Instagram called Ruse Clues where I post extra stuff.
Oh, okay.
Ruse Reviews. That's something I've done before. I'm a stickler about the way I title things. I really am. Like
No,
Cash Bash has to be Cash Bash. Just
Well, no,
because,
that's good because that's how you make it memorable.
Yes, I agree. I think names are so important. Like,
Yeah, what else do you have?
So important. Like naming
At the
my
end of the
pets
day.
was super hard. Oh my god. Have you had to name a child? You had to name a pet or a child yet? You had
Like
to do
pets at my family's house. No, that's always a thing. Whenever my parents get a new cat, we recently a group chat appeared on my phone where my mom is like, "We got a new orange tabby boy. What should we call him?" And she listed the options. And my dad was like trying to pick the most stupid one that wasn't even on the list. Stupid, funny. I mean, my mom called it stupid. And but yeah, that's how that went.
Do you remember what the name was?
I'd have to pull it up. I don't remember.
Oh man. Yeah, Oscar. I just wait for names to come to me. Oscar came to me. Margot came to me. I just wait. I just sit there and I just wait. Even with song titles, whatever it is, everything. I just wait. I just wait for the moment to come, and I'll be like, yeah, that's. It's just. I think that's how it works for me. I have to wait till I have the spiritual moment in which the name appears. It has to. And it's so hard to pick a name. Like titling films. I mean, how do you look do you remember when you guys first came up with the name Gobblehead? Do you remember when the first time it was uttered?
Yeah. Well, what you wanted to talk about writing too, right?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay. I can answer both of those.
Whatever. Talk about whatever.
Yeah. So Gobblehead. Well, that was a Steve O. Alex thing because they came up with the idea first, so they'd be the ones to talk to about it. But like by the time I came along, I was like, that sounded good.
Yeah.
And then Cottonmouth, that was also Alex's invention because for a number of reasons. Like first, the sock puppet. Sorry to give it away, but it's been out 3 years. The sock puppet, Cotton, and so Mouth is like, oh, that's a cool name there. And also, there's a kind of poisonous snake that is nicknamed Cottonmouth. And also, it's also that feeling you get when you haven't drunk enough water and your mouth feels cottony. But when it comes to writing, as a rapper,
we call that a triple entendre. By the way, that's a triple
hell
entendre. Yeah.
But
well done, sir.
But when it comes to writing, I don't really do that much of the writing. I do more of the producing and the cinematography and the biz ops. But no, Josh and Alex do most of the writing. I really only have one Kino Crew writing credit, and that was I did.
So you like the DP and stuff too? Are you directing all the shots?
That's most of what I do. Yeah, when it comes to Kino Crew, I think the only writing credit I have is on Gobblehead 2 because we had to rewrite it a bit based on cast availability, and I just came up with like this, the new scenes for it. And we were filming in like 2 days, and I just had to bash it out. And so, but like I have written a lot before, but that was like when I was a kid, like writing scripts for my own projects. And I used to write more, but I don't have as much time now, and I don't have ideas now. But that's okay because Josh and Alex have those ideas.
Yeah.
So I'm happy producing and DPing.
I've always wondered, like with DPs. Okay, so like my naive
double
brain,
penetrator. No.
my naive brain.
I had to say it at least once.
It's like BBW or what is it? What's the channel? 8B. You know what I'm talking about? It's not BBW. It's the channel, and you gonna die over there? You all right?
That's okay. I don't really.
BBC. That's what I'm thinking of. The channel. There's a news channel, BBC.
British Broadcasting Corporation.
Yeah, it's
God
so funny.
bless.
Like it's so hard not to think.
Oh, I know.
Of what they truly are.
What do you also call it? Oh no.
But anyway, like with this. Okay, so my naive brain. I loved just being behind a camera and like being able to and I think like I heard Kubrick say this, where it's like just taking pictures and the passion of taking a picture and framing a photo and finding that.
Yeah.
I can understand that. I really love taking pictures. The only reason I don't do it anymore is because it would just take too much of my time. Right. But I love taking pictures. And so I used to think watching movies, like, oh, so this is just someone who really likes to take pictures like me, who just framed all these shots. But that's not what it is. It's a director who has a DP who understands what his vision is, and the DP frames all the shots. Yes?
Well, it's a collaboration, so it depends.
Okay.
Like, some directors are very invested in the cinematography of their movies, and like we could defining terms a little bit. Cinematography, including the technical side, composition, and lighting and whatever, bits of, narrative flair go with that. But no, it all depends on the project and the people involved. Like, some directors are very specific in what they want, and the DP executes it. Some directors are more hands-off,
Right.
and they let the DP work it out. Some directors are their own DPs. So no, it depends, but like
I just feel like a DP is so important.
It is. There is like a division of responsibilities at every level, but like to what degree depends on who's doing it. Like some directors and their DPs work together very closely, some don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's just something to wrap my mind around because, again, like, to me, that's I'm just a dork. Like, when I watch a movie or again, it's all about, like, shapes and framing and all. That's the way my brain works. I've just noticed this about myself. The thing I love about a movie the most is when it's a really good thing I care about, like the plot's good, but also is it shot well? Those are probably the two things I've noticed I pay the most attention to when I'm watching a movie. Do I care about this plot? Is it like do I notice the plot happening?
Right.
Like, do I feel them giving me plot, or is it just kind of flowing? Is that what's happening here? And also, is it shot well? Those are probably the two things I care about the most. And that's why I wonder all the time about this, because like, to me, that's what a movie's about. Like the visuals are so important. So and the director's
it's a visual medium.
Yeah. And like, I can't even imagine being a director and trying to tell somebody like, no, this is what I want. I would get annoyed. I don't think I could do it. I feel like it'd be hard to explain.
Right.
Like, I mean, I imagine there's a reason. Just like when directors work with the same actors, you see relationships form, and like the same people work with the same people.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Like the amount of times that Roger Deakins has worked with the Coen brothers, or the amount of times that Robert Burks worked with Alfred Hitchcock, or Gordon Willis filming every one of the Godfather movies for Francis Ford Coppola.
Right.
There are a ton of director cinematographer collaborations. Because over time, number one, if the quality of the work is good, you want the same people back, and number two, if you're like a more sort of auteur director or a filmmaker who writes and directs, and you have that level of creative control, and you develop a shorthand and a easy way of working with the same people, you want the same people back each time.
How expensive is like a minor production? Like, if something like the types of things that you guys are putting together, like, is it like a $5,000 budget?
Oh, not even that.
No.
No. Like, we can make like one of these shorts we make. Maybe I'm saying too much, but like,
I mean, I think people who are independent filmmakers would be interested, right?
No,
Because a lot of people don't know.
The shorts that we make, like, we can do them for like $2,000.
Interesting.
Because
like you're talking 20, 30 minutes?
No. I'm talking like 10, 15 minutes.
Okay.
But that's a special case because like we own most of our own gear. We don't have to rent a lot of gear.
Right.
Our actors that we get, we get our friends on board, and like we can't afford to pay we can't afford to pay talent yet. We're getting there, hopefully, working on it. But like we get people.
You'd love to hear how much comedians get paid. You'd love to hear that.
Oh no,
it'd make you feel better.
Yeah, but like we get people.
You pay them $5 in a sandwich. It's awesome.
Like we get our friends to come play the roles, and we're very upfront that like this is for copy and credit, and we make it worth their while. Like we make sure that there's good crafting, we make sure there's good food, we make sure that everyone's comfortable. We work around everyone's schedule and so forth. But yeah, like $2,000 to make sure that everyone's fed and we're properly equipped.
Yeah.
And like we have everything figured out to make sure it's safe and fun for everyone because they're giving their time to work with us. That's what we've been able to do, especially like owning all the owning most of the gear that we need.
Do you feel like the films, because like I was once told, like any equipment you buy, anything you put money into, the whole point is to make the money back through the thing in the long run. Like, do you feel like you guys have done that yet? You feel like that's happening? I mean, I know the festival shit's happening now. Is that the beginning of the films kind of paying themselves forward,
I mean, sort of, like, because we do client work as well through Kino Crew. We just haven't talked about it as much because it's sort of like it's like, where do you put it on the website? Like, because there's Cottonmouth, there's the Gobbleheads, there's loads, and then like, let us film your show or whatever.
But you do that? Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
you
we
guys
do like the
that.
live event. Yeah, we do client work. That's paid for a good deal of it. And
How much do you have a specific rate, or is it by?
it entirely depends on the project. We have to like estimate by the project and
That's
see what
cool.
the client's needs are.
And like specifically in Chicago, I imagine.
Well, I mean, that's where they've all been so far, but we're willing to travel if it's the right kind of project.
You hear that, folks? If you live in India, Pakistan, anywhere in the world.
No, they don't let me go there no more. I am I'm not allowed. I'm not at liberty to talk about it.
I mean, I'm just thinking like, because how else? Just filming. I mean, you haven't done weddings. Weddings always a fun one.
I've done
Never
3
done a
weddings.
wedding?
I've done 3 weddings myself, not through Kino Crew, but through other client projects I've done. But no, I'd never do a wedding again. They're a massive pain in the ass.
Yeah, that's what I've always heard. Every time I've heard a wedding story, it's like, oh my god, it was the most stressful thing I've ever done.
I've done 3 weddings, and 2 of them were very easy. One was not good, and so no, I'd never do a wedding again.
You don't want to share the details, no?
I mean, it doesn't matter. It was 15 years ago. I don't care to talk. Get into that.
Sounds
really.
like a good story. Yeah.
Well, the short of it was, I was hired the day before the thing, and I probably shouldn't have taken it, but I was like trying to just earn more money to buy a new car. And so I took it on, and I didn't get I was brought in the day before, which is nuts. But I didn't think to ask all the questions because I was just trying. It was the day before. I should have turned it down.
I'm surprised they did the wedding photographer day before. That's crazy.
No, just the videographer. I don't know about the photographer.
Oh,
Just
okay.
me as videographer.
Gotcha.
And so there were things I didn't get that I didn't know to get because I didn't know to ask, because it was just like,
that was my mom. You didn't tell me who your mom was.
Yeah, and so it didn't go well. I fixed it, and I was just like, I don't want to do this again. So,
Yeah, because that's exactly it, right? Is like, if you had good communication, a wedding shot, shooting a wedding can't be that bad. But if it's like somebody who doesn't really know,
I mean, even if you do have good communication, something might go wrong. So
Right.
it's just a no.
it's not.
That's a no for me, dog.
Weddings are not an art project, too. Like, it's not something you can look at and like, oh, I'm gonna get a good shot here. Like, it's not that type of gig. It's
Yeah.
like probably very economic. Like, very. How do I get this? All right. How do I get this? All right, how do I get this?
Actually,
All
I have an amendment to that. No, I have done one wedding since, but I did it for friends. I did it for
love of the game.
no, I did it for my friend Jackie and her husband and her now husband Andy, because they were like, "Can you just film the ceremony?" And I was like, "You're my friends. I'll film the whole thing."
Wow.
So there was literally no pressure, and I just did that anyway.
It's gonna be crazy when
Alex
you're
is-
famous and
yeah.
they're like, my wedding was directed.
No, it was for Alex. Yeah, well, more context. It was for Alex's sister and his now brother-in-law. 'Cause
Yeah.
they're like, "Can you film the ceremony?" I was like, "I'll film the whole thing. I got my stuff here, and we're friends. Of course, I'll help out." So it turned out nice.
It's not like how much work is it to film a wedding?
I don't know. I mean, that one was easy because there was zero pressure, and I had some carte blanche. But it was half a day's of a couple hours of filming, and then
Yeah.
about a weekend of editing by the time I got to it.
Yeah.
And they liked they liked it right out the delivery, and I was like, nice.
That counts as a wedding gift, I guess. You could just say that. too.
I got a wedding gift, but then I also had this one, so it was a bonus, I guess.
Wow.
Hopefully they liked it. No, they told me they liked it.
And then if we have finished the Kino Crew origin story.
Yeah, that's basically the origin story. Like, we eventually made Cottonmouth, and then we're like, now we're running a company, and we did, doing some client work to help pay for things and doing projects, and social media's going, and, expanding our reach through networking events and some festivals, but mostly to this point, non-festival screenings. And that's been the past 3 years from 2022 to present, and going strong, and with all intentions of keeping it going. So that's
I feel
all
like
came together.
How many screenings do you guys do?
I mean, it's not a question of frequency like that, but we have done.
Because I don't know what the regular script. I don't know how independent films do it.
We've maybe done 10 or 12 screenings of various kinds
over the last what?
over the
year or
last 3
two?
years.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember the exact number. I'd have to look it up, but
You are the historian. You're the one I should ask.
I know, but well, the thing is, I have the records that I've kept to look it up. I just don't remember it right now. But I could pull up our meeting minutes on my phone here on Google Drive.
That's probably a proper estimate, though. 10 or 12 over 3 years.
Yeah, approximately. Because we've shown projects at Big Picture Chicago, at the Patio Theater, the old Cinema Obscura live shows, and they did a couple of those. Not doing them anymore. They're not holding them anymore. We've had some film festival screenings, one of which didn't go very well. The Chicago Independent Film Night when that comes around, which is always a lot of fun. So yeah, more non-competitive screenings than festival screenings so far.
Festivals are competitive? I don't even know. That's how little I know.
That's what because they're like they are competition because they give prizes.
They do?
Yeah.
Wow. So wait a minute. So when you have like people stand up at a festival and cheer for 10, 15 minutes, and then they get an award at that festival, you're telling me that this is all real and none of this is... I don't know. It seems fishy.
I don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but like just by the definition of the word, if they give out prizes, it's
I didn't know they did
competitive.
I feel so stupid right now. I thought festivals were just for fun. I thought we all just went and watched a movie and just like we love movies.
I mean, that was it. There could be non-competitive festivals, but like
it's like winner of Sundance, right?
That's, like I just draw the distinction between. When it comes to our screenings, like the non-competitive ones, non-festival ones, like Big Picture Chicago, which are just like we submitted and we knew the people running it, and they accepted our movie, or like the Chicago Independent Film Night screening where you could submit and they'd review, and you might get selected, you might not, and they would show it as part of the program, but there weren't awards given out.
Yeah.
Or festivals that are competitive where they do give out awards.
Huh. Interesting. Oh, and loads.
Oh, God. Where do you want me to start?
When did you blow your first load?
Oh, shit.
Let's go all the way back again.
I saw my stepmom, Deborah.
She did not look how I expected her to look. And I mean, I guess just the beginning of do you remember how that film... The first time that was brought up to you, first time you had even thought about, okay, so how am I going to shoot a load? How you are the shooter of loads.
Oh, you mean that you want to just learn about the cinematography?
I want to know everything.
Okay.
I mean, I want to know it all.
All right, so
this is your chance to tell the world.
You talked to Josh. So I'm sure he had more, he would have more details about the creative side and how that came together. But briefly, because I wasn't there. You see, when I give the long versions of stories, it's because I was there for the stuff. But if I wasn't, I'm not doing the stolen valor. I'll identify that. But the idea for loads, that was a Josh and Alex idea from when they were in college together at Columbia. And they just had that idea of what happened, what would happen if a character had a medical condition where if they jacked off one more time, they would explode and die. And Josh and Alex and Tim wrote the script from that idea. And so as far as that part of the process goes, I came in rather late because the idea was in that form by the time we started Kino Crew. And it was actually the second project we embarked upon after Cottonmouth was over. But it just took longer to get together because of the production needs. The Gobbleheads, all three Gobbleheads came between because of just their production natures and the challenges that we had with loads that were different than Cottonmouth than the Gobblehead series. But as far as my part in loads goes, the idea for it to be the next project, and then one of the next projects came about in October 2022 because that's the next one we had ready. And we also thought Alex directed Cottonmouth, and now we'll move to a Josh project, and then a Nathan project. Although I don't direct, I just do the producing. So it's Alex and Josh directing stuff, and me as producer and DP on the projects. But we really got into the first Gobblehead in the creation of the LLC came in through the latter half of fall, but like during that time, Josh, Alex, and Tim were collaborating on the screenplay and getting new drafts of it together, and then like pre-production really began in January of 2023, and that was all the usual of getting the final draft of the script written, figuring out locations, production design details, special effects, and so on and so forth. And then it's the cinematography. So, yeah, Josh gave me some influences to work off.
Did he?
Yeah.
I wonder who these people are, truly. Is it like body horror movies? What did he tell you to look at?
Actually, no. Well, first, for one thing, he wanted to. I'm gonna have to look up the name of this really quick.
Okay, yeah.
But I can keep talking while I look it up. First off, he wanted to use different aspect ratios.
I noticed that. I was saying to him about that when I watched it with him. I was like, oh, I noticed you guys switched aspect ratios.
Yeah, that was his idea. And at first,
interesting.
Like when it started off, he explained that he wanted most of it to be in the 2:3:9, like, anamorphic aspect ratio.
Right.
And at first, I thought that wouldn't work out too well. I thought like maybe we should go for Academy ratio, or like a 1:1 ratio for most of the Kevin scenes, because that aspect ratio, or like a 3:4 if you're using the digital numbers. But like I thought like I think that the 4:3 or like Academy ratio, a more square screen, I think that would look more isolating for the character. And he was very adamant 2:3:9, and I was like, okay, let's see how they make this work. And in a way, the 2:3:9 did create like a form of kind of claustrophobia.
Yeah.
Because it's so wide, it's, there are ways, you can't see as much top and bottom. So I thought like, okay, I see how this works. It also worked well for like the extreme close-ups of the eyes, because it's hard to do that stuff in like a 16:9 or a 3:4 aspect ratio. So that was the first thing with cinematography. And then, like one of my ideas that I wanted to do, we sort of agreed that it wouldn't be super realistic. I mean, we sort of agreed that it wouldn't be super stylized. That's it. So, I thought like, okay, but like perhaps like some, we stylize it a little bit by having like warm light and cool light as needed in scenes. Like, for example, when he's on the computer, talking to April Showers, we douse him in like some blue light, like just so it kind of looks lonely and sad. And, it's, it also matches the computer screen color temp, and he liked that idea. And we also like made sure that the cinematography worked with the color scheme of the production design, so that like sad scenes or dramatic scenes had very cool color temps. And, once he recovers and starts to get better, we have warm color temps.
Right.
Up until the final scene when he explodes because he's still with his family and all that.
Spoilers!
Oh, no. Maybe you can cut that out.
I mean, honestly, I feel like spoilers are an odd thing. I don't even know if they're necessarily bad. I don't know if you agree with that. I always feel like, unless it's like I don't know. It really depends. I don't want a movie spoiled for me in full, but if it's like one detail, I can handle that.
Right.
That's how I feel about it. I've thought about this a lot because my sister, she'll spoil things. She doesn't even know she's spoiling it. I'll say, don't spoil anything. And then she'll just give away a detail she thinks isn't a spoiler. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing to me? That was a spoiler. But yeah.
So yeah, I'm still trying to find this freaking movie.
How do I talk more about spoilers? I could go on.
But I could go on about the cinematography. I'll try to figure it out. But like he asked me to make there it is, The Art of Self-Defense. Okay. So he wanted something like The Art of Self-Defense. So I was like, okay, cool. So it's been a while since I watched it, but I watched it in preparation, and I was like, okay, so like very simple camera moves, lots of static shots. We can do this. It'll be
Tim, did you not recommend that movie to me earlier? Didn't you say that movie when you were talking about movies?
It's the Jesse Eisenberg one, right?
Yeah, I was just like, I remember Jesse Eisenberg was in this movie, but I can't remember the title of it. Yeah, so The Art of Self-Defense.
Okay.
So I watched that.
That's what I'm thinking of. Rules of attraction.
And I was like, all right, cool. That means we can keep this simple with static camera moves and natural lighting. And I did a bit of a like very simple kind of I intentionally stuck with simple lighting because we were just working in kind of confined indoor spaces. We shot most of loads at my apartment, or condo. And like a lot of scenes we filmed like in rooms with natural light, and we augmented or added to the natural light by putting my LED lights up where the windows were and matching the color temp of the sun outside for the scene that we filmed. And very fortunately, a good deal of the scenes were filmed on days that were like very overcast and cloudy, which worked very well for worked very well for those scenes. Because like, you know, you think of a guy testing sex toys for his job and working from home, it's like it's not a super sunny, warm kind of a light. That's like a more cool light.
He should be depressed.
Overcast light.
He should be dark and gloomy and depressing.
Yeah. So that was where that came from. Yeah, they are self-defense, and then just like very simple setups with static camera moves, the different aspect ratios, framing for the different aspect ratios, and just augmenting the natural light with the LEDs that we used. And we used for the whole thing, we used my Panasonic GH5 camera. And
are you doing all the lighting too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like if you're a DP on a small project, you're gonna do your own lighting. Sometimes like if it's a bigger thing, like we hit like on the Gobblehead sets, those are where we're at. We'll have a lot more friends like be able to come and help out. We'll deem someone gaffer and they'll help me out with moving lights around. But
okay.
Like I'll like at least be directing where I want the light, or like going through everyone's ideas to figure out what to do with them.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the cinematography for loads, the aspect ratios, the shot compositions, the kinds of camera movements, and the lighting setups. And actually, one more thing, you'd notice this if you like when watching it. During like some of the jacking off scenes, we also employed the use of different shutter speeds.
Okay.
So to give it like a, give those scenes like a feeling of altered reality. Like sometimes the shutter speed is very fast, so eliminates.
And that like changes the way motion looks, right?
Yeah, it removes the motion blur. So like if you for example, you see videos online of like a helicopter flying and it looks like the blades are not moving. Mm-hmm. That's because the shutter speed is so high that it
can make them disappear practically. They're just sitting there in the air like it's floating midair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the slow shutter speed is when there's lots of blur.
Wow.
And so like you can see that in some of the close-ups when they're all like dissolved together. There'll be like a combination of shots with the high shutter speed where it looks very, very vivid.
Yeah.
And then like when he, after he comes, there'll be like, we'll cut to like a shot of the footage with the slow shutter speed because he's like, he's achieving post-nut clarity and like blacking out a little bit. So what genre would you describe the film as? It's a combination. So I always explain it. It's a comedy, romance, body horror.
Okay.
Yeah, because it does have the comedy not like jokey gag comedy, but like comedy, it's like Zucker Brothers kind of comedy.
Yeah.
Where it's silly lines delivered completely straight.
Yep.
And the romance with the
his boss is literally you got to keep coming.
Yeah, exactly. and like that's what we said. We're just like these are very silly lines. We're doing them absolutely serious. And then of course the romance with the April showers part of the plot.
Yeah.
And the body horror because of what happens to Kevin.
Yeah. And I don't think the romance works if you don't take everything else literally too, because the romance has to be taken seriously.
Yeah, and that's what we did. The romance itself is serious. The lines are silly, but they're delivered completely straight. And like that's what we like eventually sort of distilled about the story. We're like, this is by and large, this is a very normal kind of story, just told in a really weird way.
Yeah, right.
It's kind of like how you realize that every Adam Sandler movie that you watched as a kid is actually a very competently plotted movie with a very distinct beginning, middle, and end. Beginning, conflict, resolution, all in about 90 minutes. It's just a dumb version of all those things.
I agree
and a
with
dumb,
that.
funny version of all those things.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I really do. Especially, I think, Billy Madison.
Yeah, like all those movies.
Oh, the movie's so good.
They introduce their characters.
And it's a wholesome message, too. Like,
Yeah.
it's like a family-friendly, wholesome, like, if you boil down what it's actually even saying, all those movies are, like, so sweet.
Yeah, it's just it's just like by and large a dumb version of those things.
You're
like
right.
A stupid, funny version of those things.
Yeah, and then Paul Thomas Anderson saw that and said, I got it.
Yeah.
I know what to do with this guy.
You know what's funny is for like a similar like kind of a related example, Pee-wee's Big Adventure
Yeah.
was written by, I don't remember who the screenwriters were, but written by I got a freaking computer in my right here, I can look it up, but the screenwriters of Pee-wee's Big Adventure had never written a feature-length screenplay before.
Really?
So they got a book on how to write a feature-length screenplay and followed it to the letter. I don't recall which one they used, but it's one of those famous ones, I think. They followed it to the letter, and they used the exact recommended page counts for how long to spend introducing your main character, when the inciting incidents and conflicts should happen, and when your resolution should come in.
Yep.
And the final movie followed the screenplay so closely that Pee-wee's Big Adventure is you wouldn't think it is considered to be an example of book perfect screenwriting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It works. It all works as a screenplay. There's nothing about it that doesn't work because the formula doesn't feel stilted is what I'm saying. It doesn't come off as obvious or anything. It all works.
That's how
I don't think I've seen the movie.
Oh wow. You got to get on that.
Yeah.
But no, that's what it's considered because because when you're writing a screenplay, there are general rules for when certain things should happen.
Of course, I knew that.
Yeah. And so because that's how they wrote the Pee-wee's Big Adventure screenplay, and it translated the screen exactly like that.
Yeah.
It's considered to be a perfect example of by the book screenwriting.
I mean, from my understanding, because I have a screenplay book around here somewhere. I've mentioned it so many times on here. It's How to Write a Screenplay That Sells. It's by Michael Hauge, I think, Hauge,
yeah.
And it's right after Karate Kids. It's from the late 80s, early 90s.
Okay.
And it lays out the formula. I think part of it's trying to tell you. I think what's interesting about it is part of it's telling you need to kind of appeal to what these executives want to hear. You have to do that. This is what you have to do. And this is the 90s. It's only gotten so much worse.
Yeah.
But also it's I never realized how formulaic a script was until I read that book. It's these pages are where you're setting everything up. It's going to be the first 30 pages. There's going to be this character, it's the main character. He's going to have a conflict with this character. And also there's going to be an antagonist, and this is the reason the antagonist is doing what they're doing. And then also there's one other character I'm forgetting right now. But usually there's 4 characters that are almost in every script. It's the same formula. It blew my mind because it's that's what the book is telling you. Now that you see this, go ahead and watch any movie. It's crazy because when movies break the rule, it actually is subversive. You're oh, this script is different. Most of the time movies don't break the rules. It's always kind of the same. You never unsee it. It's one of those things, once you know how formulaic a script actually is, it's really hard to unsee it. And it kind of makes me appreciate it more, to be able to work within that framework and make a plot make sense. And it makes, I've always at least noticed when exposition is bad. That's something I've always, it's just fucking, I hate it. It's one of my pet peeves in movies. When you don't know how to introduce something, so you just introduce it in the worst way possible, it drives me nuts. But that is in the script. That's something that's almost always just bad script writing. It's always
exposition is the hardest thing to do.
It's so hard. Because how do you naturally, I'm 13, you're 15, cool
Right.
how the fuck you have to find a way. And to the point, again, when a movie does it well, you're kind of impressed by it. You're wow, that was cool.
The most one of the most stereotypical exposition scenes is the blackboard scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark, because it is so clearly and unequivocally and unapologetically an exposition scene, because it literally is we're all set up, and fortunately it works for the story. We're in a university library or common room, wherever it takes place, and here's a blackboard, and here we are going to lay out the plot for the whole movie right here and right now as painlessly as possible. All right, and now we can see the rest of it.
You know what? Spielberg did the same exact thing with Jurassic Park, because it's like you get to the point where, okay, he's going to explain how the dinosaurs come about, and then he just explains it to you. That's the whole 3 minutes. To just explain it all. Like, it's plain and simple. Literally, It's him presenting the information. That's how it goes.
Yeah, sometimes Occam's razor, the simplest way is the correct way.
Yeah, like it breaks the rule again. Like show don't tell. You're kind of breaking the rule when you do just tell.
And sometimes you do have to break the rule. Like,
yeah,
it depends on length. I mean, you could show, but how long is that going to take?
Right.
Yeah, sometimes telling is quicker.
Did you see the latest Mission Impossible?
I've not. That's another Josh question because he loves those movies.
God, it bothered me because it broke that rule, but in a bad way. I swear to you, half the movie is them just telling you shit. I swear to God, I couldn't believe it.
You'll have to talk to Josh. You might want to kick your ass if you say bad things about the Mission Impossible movies.
To be fair, I think it's the worst one since the second one. And I love all the Mission Impossible movies.
I haven't heard him rank them yet. You guys fight to the death over it.
The second one's bad. If he likes the second one, I'll be surprised.
Oh, okay. I've got no idea.
The John Woo one, it's like completely different than all the other ones.
I won't speak for him. You'll have to talk to him about that.
I'm a little bit of a nerd for the Mission Impossible movies.
Yeah, Josh knows Mission Impossible and Alex knows wrestling.
Okay. Oh, wow. What do you say? What would you say your specialty is?
No, I don't know. I dabble a lot.
You have favorite directors? You have any favorite films?
Yeah,
favorites?
a couple, and I have like my list of favorite movies. I always, movies I go back to all the time.
Which are? I'd love to know.
I can't remember. No,
I'm even just looking for recommendations.
Oh, okay. Well,
things.
One of my favorite movies is about Schmidt. The Jack Nicholson 2002 Alexander Payne movie. There's just something very relatable about that character and that atmosphere. It's just incredibly mid-century. He's like the I don't know. Have you seen the movie? I
haven't. No.
About it. There's just such like a to the main character, the Jack Nicholson character. It's a very character-driven story. The entire plot is, speaking about movies as like by the book as possible. The entire plot is Jack Nicholson's character. He retires from his longtime job. His wife dies, and then he has to learn to deal with living on his own and the fact that his daughter is about to marry a guy he doesn't like. Mm-hmm. That's basically the whole plot, but it's a character-driven story, so there's a lot more nuance and things that happen as a part of that. But I just find something so incredibly relatable. Like, I don't know if it's people I grew up around or the environment I grew up in or what have you, but something incredibly like amusing and dry, like mid-century, Midwestern, Middle American about that main character and how he has to go through life and the way that like all the sadness of the movie is handled with like such dry humor. And it's incredibly nuanced. And every time, it's one of those movies where every time I watch it, I notice something new, some new detail. It'd be too like,
Schmidt.
Yeah, it'd be too in the weeds to get into that, like what I notice. But that for all those reasons, I love it. Then probably my second favorite is Ed Wood, the Tim Burton movie, because it's a movie about making movies.
I don't know when was that? When did
1994.
That one come out? Okay.
I think. It won Martin Landau the Best Supporting Actor Oscar for playing Bela Lugosi. Then my third favorite movie is probably Dog Day Afternoon.
Okay.
Because I love Al Pacino in any movie when he gets to just chew the scenery. And that's one of those early Al Pacino chew the scenery movies because...
What do you mean chew the scenery? What does that mean?
Be very big in your acting, hamming it up.
Okay. Yeah, he's a god at such a thing. Yes.
Yeah, because he started as a stage actor, and it's more a term used for stage actors when they start soloing or monologuing.
Right.
I mean, basically all of Son of a Woman is like Al Pacino monologuing and chewing the scenery in his monologues as that main character.
Yeah.
Those are my top three movies, and there are a lot of others that I that I like a lot. But those are my top. Those are my top three. I'd say.
What do you think are like the most well shot movies of all time?
I don't know. I know the ones that I like where I like the cinematography.
Okay, well, then, yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, obviously, if you haven't seen it, then it doesn't count. So, like, the movies you've seen that you're like, wow, this blows me away.
Yeah, I mean, they're like, none really come off the top of my head at the moment. Oh, well, I would also include comedies in my favorite movies.
Oh, okay.
Like Dumb and Dumber is my favorite.
Dumb and Dumber's the best.
Yeah, Dumb and Dumber is one of my favorite movies.
That movie's so funny.
I don't draw the distinction. Like I'd put that in my top 5 along with
God, I love that movie.
Along with those other serious ones, and then Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me.
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing about me in film. Here's the thing about me in filmmaking. At the end of the day, I like to entertain people.
Yeah.
I don't really have a lot to say. I like to entertain people, and that's how I got into it. Watching stuff that entertained me. I have delved into the art house and movies that are important that way. Sometimes they're fun to watch. Sometimes they're a real slog to get through, but they're all worth the time to learn something new.
Yeah. And I think it's like it's a taste thing. Like I was just watching just yesterday, the day before, it's Scorsese getting interviewed by Edgar Wright. And he was saying like that he thinks you should just watch everything. And I don't know. I think that even that advice might not be be for everybody.
Is that what Josh told you too? I think I saw
I was
that
just
in the
watching it. I was just watching it. It was literally probably just 2 days ago. So that's funny. It was someone else saying something similar about it.
I thought Josh said that when he was here.
Oh no. But yeah, I just think you really like. Obviously watch bad things, but I mean like watch everything. Like watch stuff that you think isn't even in your realm of film, just to see what it is.
You got to be open to learning new things and seeing new styles. Even if you don't like it, you've at least put forth the effort.
And film is such a weird thing. Like when you watch a film that really you don't understand, it is like a challenging experience. Like, it's not enjoyable. It's kind of I think you don't want to watch it. I mean, like foreign films, there's been foreign films I've watched where I'm just like, I don't know if I understand what this is supposed to be. Like, I feel like I just don't get it. Yeah. But at the same time, like, I feel like I shouldn't stop watching it because I'm not going to learn anything if I just turn it off fucking 5 minutes in.
Yeah, you don't want to be a quitter.
I'll say I watched Batman, the new Batman movie.
Oh, yeah.
I think I've only seen half of it because I did not like it. I was like, I don't like this at all. And I've heard people like not like that take, and so maybe I got to give it another chance, but I don't know. Maybe I was just tired because I think I was really tired and I was watching. I was like, I'm falling asleep, but I swear to God, I swear to you, I was like, what is this? This is not Batman. And I don't know. Maybe I'm just biased. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Speaking of taste, funny story about matter of taste. One time I went to Barnes and Noble for one of their big old DVD sales, and went through. It was on sale, and among my finds that day, I picked up Lawrence of Arabia and Tommy Boy. Tommy Boy I saw so long ago, I can't remember it. Lawrence of Arabia, I've heard so many good things, but continue. Yeah, so I picked up Lawrence of Arabia and Tommy Boy in the same bunch of on sale finds. Yeah, in the clerk, I went up to the clerk and he pointed it out, and I was like, yes. Please ring me up. I'm patronizing your establishment.
With what we've been saying about you, it's actually
it says for your opinions, man.
It says a lot about your personality that you chose that you had those two films at the same time.
I can like both things. I don't like the idea of exclusivity. Like watching David Lean movies is how I learned to do cinematography, and watching movies.
David Lean, what are his films that people know?
Lawrence of Arabia,
that's him.
Bridge on the River Kwai, Dr. Zhivago, Ryan's Daughter, Passage to India, Brief Encounter, Blithe Spirit, one of our aircraft is missing, Summertime. I mean, to keep going.
What about his movies, though? Like, what did you learn from them?
How to tell a story visually. He was one of the best, visual filmmakers of all time. You talk about cinematographer and director collaborations. David Lean and Freddie Young are one of the greats. One of the great collaborations there, because they did Lawrence of Arabia, Dr. Zhivago, and Ryan's Daughter together.
Okay.
Yeah, and Freddie Young won Oscars for all three of those movies. So yeah, how to tell a story visually, how to frame an image. Like, it was while watching his movies where I've really understood, how to create depth with something in the foreground, a middle ground, and a background, and how to do all that to match the narrative so that the choices that you make are purposeful and tell the story. So yeah, I don't like the idea of exclusivity. Like Lawrence of Arabia and David Lean, like movies like that are how I learned how to make movies, and then movies like Tommy Boy, Dumb and Dumber, Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me, are why I want to make them, because I like to entertain.
Yeah.
So yeah, the how you do it and the why I like it, that's the combination.
I mean, it kind of reminds me too of the whole problem with trying to rate things and grade them on a scale, because it's like, how do you even compare stuff like that? How would I say like which one of the how does Dumb and Dumber compare to Lawrence of Arabia? Is it even meant to be on a scale? Like, does it even matter? You know, like I'm so bad at picking favorites for this reason. Like I could not tell you my favorite musicians. I just can't tell you. I just get so stumped. Like I could maybe pick one, but like picking like five, like top five, like a Mount Rushmore, I'm just so bad.
It's hard to do. It took me a while.
Because there's so many things that are good for different reasons. I think that's why it's so, I really think that. Like, it's not a political answer. I just really think it's so hard to pick sometimes.
Yeah.
And like, sometimes I'll catch myself, like, I have to stop doing it. Like, if I'm listening to a song, watching a movie, I'm like, why am I grading this critically right now? Why can't I just like enjoy the thing?
Exactly.
Like, that's what it's supposed to be here for. But instead, everything is like, you compare it. It's like, oh, well, and that's how you pitch movies even. That's how you're supposed to pitch a movie. Well, it's like this, compare it with this and this.
The shorthand. It's like these two things mixed together.
Yeah.
Hey, you gotta save this studio, kid. Give him $1 million.
But I mean, yeah. I don't like. You have a favorite genre? You have a favorite genre of movie at the very least. You got to have one.
I mean, like, yeah, actually, I like dramedies. It's not a distinct genre. It's a mix of drama and comedy. But like, I just find it really fascinating when those things can be balanced well. And that's, I guess, going back to About Schmidt, that's why that's one of my, I consider that my favorite movie, because it balances the comedy and the drama and the tragedy and the sadness also very, very well.
Oh, it's a comedy.
It's a dramedy.
I didn't even realize. When you were describing, I thought it was just a drama.
No, it's a dramedy.
Oh.
It's a drama comedy.
Okay. How do you feel about like all the great dramedies from the late 2000s, like Knocked Up? They got 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Well, 40-Year-Old Virgin,
Pineapple Express. I think those are all dramedies.
No, well, I mean, 40-Year-Old Virgin is entirely a comedy.
You don't think there's drama? I feel like that's a dramedy.
No, it's pretty straight.
So what's the difference?
Pretty much a comedy. Well,
what makes the difference?
Like how heavy it gets. I mean, like in About Schmidt, his wife dies, and he has to adjust to a new life after that.
Okay, so Knocked Up would be much more of a dramedy then.
I mean, a little bit. I haven't seen that one in a long time, but like, Juno, yeah, that's a good example.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's pretty like dramatic and comedic at the same time, because some heavy choices and heavy things happen in that movie.
And Pineapple Express, his girlfriend's in high school. That's a dramedy.
That was a sign of things to be revealed later.
It's so funny that they
told
even
on himself.
did that.
It's like every other of those situations. There were signs.
That was Seth Rogen's character. I don't think he got. I think it was James Franco that got wrapped up in things. I think Seth Rogen.
Yeah, but they were the creative. They were the creative collaborators on it. So,
yeah. And then Seth Rogen's like, I don't even know him. I don't even know the guy.
There. Yeah, exactly.
Amber Heard was in that. I forgot. Amber Heard is in Pineapple Express, which is crazy to think about.
She pooped the bed.
Yeah, she really shit the bed in that movie. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know my favorite genre. I think I've noticed I like ensemble movies a lot. I like movies with a lot of characers when that happens well.
Yeah, I don't care for that kind of thing.
No.
Well, I mean, it depends on how it's done, but like I find they can be well done, but
not usually.
Really I mean, I wouldn't even make that generalization, but like really big ensemble pieces, they can just become a bit unfocused. Like, I don't know, like what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking like classic ensemble movies that like I don't really care for that much. Like any disaster movie from the 70s when they smashed together as many, big name actors as they could. Like
Yeah.
Earthquake is like that. I tried watching Earthquake just for the cultural experience of it, and I was like, I can't remember any of these people's names. I don't know what's going on. I just want to get to the earthquake part and see the part where Charlton Heston dies.
But it's kind of a cultural thing where you're seeing all these actors who were popular.
Yeah, it's one of those movies that it's one of those movies that like it's on a lot of lists, and I wanted to put myself through it, and I was like, all right, I'm happy that I watched it, but I don't need to watch it again. Sorry to say, but like any like early to late 60s epic can be that way too. Like the Battle of Britain, World War II, a movie from the 60s. That's a big ensemble piece. It can be hard to remember one's name and all that. So yeah, they could go either way, I think.
Trying to think if I got any deep movie questions. I want to get you on something good,
Oh no.
Are there any movies you hate? Is there any movie that you like what you despise? There's movies that I hate.
And I mean, like, I don't know. It's an art form I like, so I don't think about what I hate about it very much.
No, there's not like movies like it's like if I, as a rapper, there's music I don't like.
I mean, I'm sure there are, but like not off the top of my head. Do a lot of movies I hate.
Well, what is like a element of a bad movie to you? Like, what do you think is like a trademark sign of like, oh, this movie's just not?
I mean, if it's
just not entertaining. Because I mean, you said before you like entertaining.
If it's boring,
yeah,
and it can't tell us, can't tell a story well, or
yeah,
if I've been watching it for 30 minutes, and I don't know what's going on, or where it's going.
Yeah, like
that probably sounds really ignorant. But like I don't know. I just the traditional 3-act structure is one that I just vibe with the best.
Right.
And there are certain things where I don't think I mean, if the story calls for it, reinvent the wheel on how you do that kind of stuff. But I don't see
the wheel exists for a reason.
Yeah, there's no but there's no shame in just sticking with a normal 3-act structure and making it interesting.
I think it's just, again, like I said before, I think that's kind of why it's interesting to me, is because it makes you respect it. It makes you understand, like, oh, there's kind of an artistry, like a craftsmanship to being able to adapt a story to a 90-minute, 120-minute structure that's 3 acts long. There's a magic to that. It feels correct. At one point, someone figured out this is how a movie can work, and then everybody else just kind of kept copying their homework.
Yeah, and that's
how movies were structured from the start.
Yeah, and that's
I wonder,
like,
do you know what the first 3-act movie was? That's gotta be like a trivia thing. Somebody's gotta know.
I don't even know if there would be an answer for that. I mean, there are answers for like what the first, feature-length movie is and the first narrative movie is, but I don't know that there would even be.
I guess
an
it
answer.
would go back to plays, probably go all the way back to plays, because the same structure exists within plays.
Yeah, and even earlier than that.
Yeah.
So,
the fucking Epic of Gilgamesh is a 3-act story.
I'm not sure about that, but like.
Aristotle made the 3-act structure.
Yeah,
Aristotle.
Yeah, by the time you get to
poetics.
Wait, yeah, exactly. That's when it's pretty. That's when it gets established.
Yeah. And that's established. So it already existed. That's just the first time anyone ever
maybe
said.
I just wasn't there. I wasn't there. I don't know.
I just really wonder, because it's crazy how like they just feel so right. A 3-act structure feels so right.
Yeah,
to the point you can't even really deviate. It doesn't really work.
Yeah,
you need a beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah, it's just the rule of thirds.
Yeah.
For whatever inexplicable reason, it works.
It's
over
the way of
again.
life. Yeah. Oh, Oscar, you all right? You all right, mister? It's like when things begin, there's a beginning. When things have a middle, there's a middle. When things end, they have an end. I think it's like if you deviate from that, if you don't do that, it almost like it's like it reveals itself. The structure reveals itself in this weird way. You're like, what is even happening right now? You get confused.
Yeah.
I think the best movies, again, they break the rule, or at least the best plots. They break the rule, but they somehow make it work. Like, you don't know where the movie's going, but the movie still captivates you somehow. Like, if I don't know where a movie's going, but it still strings me along, I think that's, like, an amazing thing. And it's, again, it's probably a taste thing. I've noticed I like, I really like Charlie Kaufman's films. I don't know if do you enjoy those movies at all? They seem a little too artsy for you from what you've told me.
No, I mean, I'm not that. No, I've just not seen them.
Because they're a little bit self-indulgent if you're not too into the whole Like, if you just want entertainment, you just want a movie that's good fun, I don't think a Charlie Kaufman movie is a movie you're going to want to go see.
I mean, I'm not like a Philistine. I like stuff that isn't purely entertainment. But
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, that's him. Have you seen that? He wrote that at the very least. I don't think he directed it, but he wrote it.
Right. No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not a Philistine about this stuff. I mean, like, I do like stuff that's entertaining. I like to entertain people, but I know that, like, there's, other ways of expression. Yeah, I guess another thing I would hate about it, I don't like about movies are when decisions are not motivated by anything, or bits of the filmmaking style are not
unmotivated.
Yeah, unmotivated by the plot, or
Yeah.
make no sense in the context of the plot.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a problem with most modern writing. I really do. I think that things happen to happen, and it's not a natural chain reaction. Like, I think that's what... I don't know how you feel about Breaking Bad. I really think the reason that show's writing is so tight is because you had a group of people who only... Like they've said in interviews, when the way we wrote the show is... Everything has to make sense based upon the characters that we've laid out. It's never,
Yeah,
we
exactly.
have to get to point Z. It was never that. It was never, how do we get here? It was always, how would so-and-so react to this? And to me, that's the key to any good storytelling. You just can't think with the end point. You can't think, how do we get these people to chase each other at the end? You can't think that, because then you're going to all of a sudden make up these stupid shit to make that thing happen when maybe they wouldn't have even been chasing each other. Like, you never got there naturally. So
Exactly.
And to me, it's everything is that now. Everything is like, how do we... Oh, we have to be wild. We have to do something crazy people are going to talk about, and that's what you focus on. She-Hulk twerked. Do I have to say anything else?
Everything is just a Family Guy cutaway joke.
I mean, it's upsetting to me because I really care about storytelling. I really think that's like such a powerful thing.
Yeah.
The way that you can construct a narrative and make people believe something, and if you fail there, you're fair. It doesn't matter how good you make something look. Like, you have to believe it. I have to believe you. I have to know this means something, And if nothing means anything, if no choice is motivated, if none of these characters actually matter, then what's the point?
Right, exactly.
It actually maddens me. I become an old man when I talk about stuff too much.
Back in my day.
I swear to you. And old movies are better. Older movies do it so much better. When you start watching more older movies, you realize, oh, all these newer movies are just doing the same thing these movies did, but worse. I mean, at least the best older movies. If you're watching the classics, you realize that there aren't classics now. There aren't really a whole bunch of people that are like changing things on a massive scale. I don't think so. If I'm just scrolling and I just see you talking, then like, in no context, I just see you, then what matters? And that is really such a key skill, especially today more than ever, to like know editing wise what matters. Because I think cutting is something it bothers me because there's so many doing podcasts. I'll see people post these AI clips all the time, and it's so lazy. The AI does. The AI kind of does something. It picks apart where someone's talking about something, but there's no thought behind like what to include. It just starts at one point and ends at one point, and there's no rhyme or reason to any of it. It's very lazy. And obviously it's primitive, it's going to get better, but it just blows my mind. People don't even try. Like, they don't even try to edit things. They just throw it out there. Like I don't know, am I a perfectionist? Like, I think if I was scrolling and it's a podcast clip, I have to at least like be introduced to something. Like, that's what's happening. I'm like, what's going on here? So-and-so's talking about something, and that's where we start. If you talk to me about anything for 5 minutes, there's probably a clip in there somewhere, and that's just how that works. But the AI doesn't do that. The AI just fucking grabs something just thoughtlessly. And it blows my mind, again, because people consume that content too. It makes me think maybe you don't have to try. I don't know. And like, editing isn't, I don't know, who's a good, Edgar Wright? I think it's him. Edgar Wright is a great comedic editor. Mm-hmm. I think he's like one of the few people that comes to my mind where he's just great with comedic editing, like timing and all this. Because editing is such a fascinating thing to me. When it's done right, you do notice. When it's really good editing, you actually do notice. Because it's that good. I mean, YouTubers, of all people, I don't know if you've ever gotten to like the crazy end of YouTube vlogging and all this, but there's some people who are so good at editing on YouTube. Of all places, like they're not doing film, they're doing YouTube videos. I swear to you. Casey Neistat's one of the best editors I've ever seen. If you're familiar with his work at all, he's just so good. Yeah.
Cool. No, I mean, well, it depends on it depends entirely on what you're making. If you're just clipping clips from a podcast, it's just the need is just to make it as quickly as possible. Just speed is the goal, so you can just keep pumping content out there. If you're telling a story, it's something entirely different.
Sort of, because you can take something someone said and make it feel like a story. Like, I think it's interesting the things I've seen people do.
Right, yeah. Going back to what I said, it depends on the objective. If you wanted to tell a story, then it can hook people that way. But yeah, sometimes, if we're talking about podcast videos, the content just needs to be there, just
to exist.
Yeah.
Casey Neistat, again, like I've seen him say like what his favorite vlog he ever made was, and the reason it was his favorite, the way he laid it out, is because it was just good storytelling. In his mind, that's what he's always trying to do with his vlog, is create some type of thing that needs to be solved. How he's going to solve it is the middle, and then it gets solved at the end. And that's a good vlog. That's a good story. And that's all the vlog was. It was like, how do I get this thing? I think he like dropped something and he had to pick it up. And so he went to the top of a building and he had to like find a way to pick it up. And it was like a engineering feat that he did in the video. And his vlogs, so crazy. He did a daily vlog. He was the first person to really do it for, I want to say 500 days. And he was cinematic and good and well edited and everything. It was like anything you could possibly imagine from a good vlog. This was the best vlog. And I think, and no one's done it like him since. I really think that. So it's kind of just crazy to me that it proves it's even possible to make something that's storytelling and cinematic and do it every day. I think he said since like he couldn't do it now and like he could only do it at that point in time. But yeah, I think it's hard to like find a narrative and find a story. It's hard. Like if you just have nothing and you're just finding something, because he would say he would go around every day and just film everything, and he's constantly thinking like, that was the first 30 seconds, that was like, how the fuck do you make a story out of your life every day for a vlog? It actually sounds impossible unless you're a really busy guy. Maybe I could do every week. Maybe I've thought about that. Like if I was to do that, could I do every week? And I said to you earlier, I like holding a camera. I think it's almost kind of a vain thing. If I was to make a vlog, just walk around everywhere. Do you mind if I film you right now?
Right.
It's for my vlog. Do you have any like favorite like moments of stuff you filmed? Like when you go back and watch it, like you like what you did? Like do you have any stuff that you'd throw in a reel, you like it that much?
I don't know. I don't think about the old project, like, past projects very much. I'd have to think about that. But for recent work, all the Gobbleheads stick out because they were such kind of like lean and mean productions, and in the end they ended up telling a 3-act story.
And it wasn't intended that way, no? Not at the beginning?
Not at the beginning. We just started by Alex and Steve-O having their initial idea, and then we thought, let's make a second one and kind of make it a bit of a style parody of how certain franchises can go way too long. And then we got to part 3 and we thought, okay, we can actually tie this all together now because we kept good relations with the actors who were in each one and they want to come back and do it again. And both the first and second ones like ended in a way that you could pick it up later. And then 3 tied it all up. By that point, it was very intentional what we did.
Do you see it as a trilogy?
Yeah, basically at this point, we'll just see how 4 fits in.
You sound like Tom
Coming
Cruise.
soon.
You sound like Tom Cruise talking about Mission Impossible. It's the last one, I swear. It's the last one. That's what he's doing right now. He's going, oh, it's the last one. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. We'll see. Just like 007. That was the last one, huh? It's not the last one. It's never the last one. I've learned this is how movies work. This is just how it works now. It's never, they'll tell you it's the last one, so I don't believe you. Gobblehead 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 is all coming.
We'll see. If I give too much away, then no one will be interested in watching.
You're right. You got to keep the magic alive.
I got to keep the mystery.
Even if you knew it was going to keep going. Nah, this is it.
I ain't saying nothing.
This is the last movie. I mean, Sharknado was a trilogy, yeah?
I don't recall.
I don't think they made Sharknado 4. I think they did go to 3, though. Gobblehead's legacy. Do you see it as like the beginning of Kino Crew? Do you see it as the beginning of like what do you see your legacy as you think about these things?
No, there's too much day to day to get done.
I mean, outside of filmmaking, what do you even do? I don't even know anything about you other than you make movies.
Okay, I don't know. What do you want to ask about?
I don't know. Do you play video games? Do you have other interests in your life?
I don't know. I don't play video games. No, we talked about that earlier.
Do you? What do you do?
I mean, like filmmaking's most of it because it's fun, and that's how I make friends and stuff at this point. But have a day job that's different, and for like 3 years I did media production, trying to make it self-employed. I do photography for fun on occasion when there aren't the demands of doing film projects, but that's most of what it is. It's most of what I do when I have the time to do it.
Media production of photography?
I mean, like like outside of filmmaking. I mean, like all my, I don't even know what you would call a hobby for me anymore because they all, is it supposed to?
Oh yeah, you're good.
Okay, I don't even know what you would call a hobby of mine anymore because so many of them ended up getting monetized.
I know exactly how you feel.
So I don't know. I'd say
that's the story of my life.
I'd say my hobby is spacing out in the moments I have for that, and then I get back to filmmaking or day job work or getting chores done around the house or what have you.
Yeah. Okay, that's nice.
I don't even know how to answer that question. It just takes up the rest of my being.
Do you ever go for walks by the beach?
I mean, when I have time, I enjoy that. Because we both live in the Rogers Park neighborhood, so
you know what it is.
Yeah. So I'll do that to clear my mind when I have the time to do it.
It's such a blessing, truly. Like to live near a beach like that. It's like I forget how nice it is because where I come from, not that at all.
Right. No,
it feels like you're by the ocean.
Yeah, it's definitely fun, and it was during the 2020-2021 pandemic winter. That's where I did a lot of practice landscape photography because the beaches look entirely different in the winter than they do in the summer, and it's mind-blowing that they're the same place. So yeah, fun for relaxation and inspiration.
Yeah that would be a good place for photography. Just down by the beach over there, you mean? Yeah,
like on Loyola Beach, especially off the pier. There's a group of Rogers Park photographers, a lot of Facebook pages with that kind of stuff.
This conversation is making me want to take pictures again.
Oh, okay. Well,
that lens,
right?
You asked me earlier too. The lens, I never said it. It's this lens is like what makes the camera because the camera's good, but the lens is I got it used.
The lens is always what makes the camera. That's how the pictures are made.
Yeah, but if you're just getting into cameras, you don't know. Like people don't know. They think they bought a camera when they just have the stock lens.
Yeah.
Like no, you have no idea. Take that thing off of there. It's an abomination. This thing. 2.8 is the aperture, which is like phenomenal. Oh, it looks so good for portraits.
Is it the same aperture at all focal lengths?
What do you mean?
I mean, is there a range of? Is there a
Oh, you can change it.
Is there an aperture range?
Yeah, there's an aperture range. So like right now it's at 2.8, but of course I can change it. I can just turn it right up all the way to.
I mean, like if you zoom in and out, does it maintain the same aperture?
Yeah.
Okay, that is very good because the cheaper lenses will be like 2.8 to 4.
Oh.
And as you zoom in,
really?
Yeah, as you zoom into higher focal lengths, it doesn't let you keep the aperture at its widest.
I think I had a lens I think it was a zoom lens. Like I think my girlfriend had a zoom lens. I think it was like that. I can't remember.
Yeah,
but that zoom lens blew my mind.
Only zoom lenses are like that. Prime lenses don't have that because they're fixed.
Okay, well there you go. That zoom lens really did because the things you could do with it. I didn't know this then, but I know it now. It flattened things. Like it was a zoom lens. It always, if you're far away, it would blend you in with everything. It's just how it works. Like even though you're not. You're still in focus and that's behind you and it's blurred.
Yeah, shallow focus.
Flat. It's just a flat look because of the way a zoom lens kind of looks.
Yeah, the higher the focal length, the more it flattens the image.
Yeah, but it's like little things you don't really know. You see it, but you don't understand what you're seeing, and then like the more and more you learn along the way, oh, that's what's happening.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, low aperture is a crazy blessing. I feel like when it comes to again, portraits. Like if you don't have that, it's so much harder to like pull something out. Like it is. It's just so hard to do. You can do all these things, but really, if it's like your eyes, if your eyes just can't focus on the thing right in front of you.
Yeah,
then
shallow
everything
focus
else-
is good for portraits. It's very fun.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, oh my god. And then what's stopping me? You said myself, because I don't want to edit things. I just don't want to. I don't want to take pictures and then have to edit them and then. But I'm being lazy because I know if I did it, I'd take the best pictures. I take the best. I'm just the best. That's why I really liked taking pictures, because I feel like it really is like a spiritual experience. I feel like I find the thing and then I find a way to make it work, and then there it is, and it's like a piece of art, and that's what makes a movie great in my mind. A well shot movie, it's what I love. Is like I'm watching it, I'm like, wow, that is just, there's a reason they did that. Someone was behind a camera and they thought, oh, this is perfect. And there's like if you're filming a movie, if you're filming a project, it's so much different than just filming your own thing, because then there's so many factors. It's not just the same thing. It's more respectable that someone can pull that off. So, but only when you've been behind a camera can you truly, I feel like, understand even what that is, because there is so much that can be done. And that's why when things are lazily done, I feel like I just get mad. I'm like, this movie sucks. I just have to turn this off.
Yeah.
I can't watch this. I get upset sometimes. There are movies that I just can't. They push my limits, dude. And I've learned like some movies I have to turn that off. I'm watching American Pie right now. I was watching the movie. I'm like, this is kind of a stupid movie. But I have to remind myself, not every movie has to be great. This is a stupid movie. This is supposed to be a stupid movie. So I'm trying to retrain myself a little bit, get back in that mindset of stupid movies. One movie I remember I watched when I was a kid, Bucky Larson Wants to Be a Star. It's
Oh my God.
Nick
yeah.
Swart. You know the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hated that movie. And maybe I'd like it more now. I hated that movie. I was like, what the fuck even is this? But I don't know. Maybe I just don't get like raunchy comedy like that. I remember hating it so much. So I got to rewatch it. But American Pie, I'm not loving it so far. Maybe it'll turn me around. I don't know.
It's very of its time.
Very of its time is a good way to describe it. I think all American Pie especially, very of its time, like early 2000s, very of its time, yeah. There's a few of those movies around then that did not age the best, but American Pie, Old School's okay. That's like right around the same time.
Yeah, that's entirely within that like style of comedy of that period.
And that did not last long either.
No.
That whole thing. It was it just kind of came and went.
It's sort of
Van Wilder, but I guess that's a little earlier. It was kind of all riding on Van Wilder a little bit.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Freddy Got Fingered kind of like parodies it's sort of a style parody. It can be read as kind of a style parody of that kind of movie of that time.
That was Josh did mention that movie to me.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen it still.
Yeah, you have to.
It's Kino, I'm forgetting already. Kino, what's the phrase?
Oh, Pure Kino.
Pure Kino. Freddy Got Fingered, Pure Kino. Yes? Properly use
yes,
the phrase.
quite.
Okay. Pure Kino, Freddy Got Fingered. If you do have a letterbox, that'd be a great, like, if you guys could make, what do you fucking call them? It's just like a playlist.
Yeah, we talked
Same
about
thing.
Freddy Got Fingered a lot on social media. Like, we did a funny video about, we did like a sort of a mockumentary type, video very early on, talking about how we, watched Freddy Got Fingered after as part of our Oscars viewing each year. That's a tradition that has been done for many years now to kind of shake off the pretentiousness of the ceremony. We like on our bios on the website, we list our 3 favorite movies, and the gag is that the third one of each one is Freddy Got Fingered. At one point, we got to see a 35mm print of Freddy Got Fingered at the Music Box, and then of course we got to post about it. And then earlier this year, Tim went to see Tom Green perform live and got him to autograph this Criterion edition version of the movie that Josh made us for the holidays one year. I don't know, did he talk about this?
No.
He designed a Freddy Got Fingered he made a DVD as if Freddy Got Fingered became part of the Criterion Collection, doing all the graphic design to make a DVD cover as if Freddy Got Fingered were in the Criterion Collection, and then he made the Criterion Edition version of the movie by putting the movie in a Final Cut, putting this Criterion logo at the front of it, and so you can play this DVD back with the movie playing, and we shared a picture of that. It's a very prized present. It's on my shelf.
Wow.
So that was that's another inside joke. The Criterion version of Freddy Got Fingered. There are only 3 copies or 2 copies, however many he made. I don't know if he made one for himself.
There's more than one?
Yeah, because he gave one for me and Alex for Christmas one year. I don't know if he made a 3rd one for himself.
Wow.
There are at least 2, and one of them is signed by Tom Green. Or autographed.
That is very funny. How is the movie just very... What is it? I won't understand until I watch the movie. Once I watch the movie, I'm going to fully understand why this is so funny. You won't get it until you watch it, but it's a lot of stupid, funny humor. It riffs on like the gross out comedies of the late 90s and early 2000s. Yeah.
And it's also a forerunner to like modern day Adult Swim type humor. Ahead of its time, if you will.
Tom Green was one of the origins of podcasting, believe it or not.
Yeah,
too.
He, ahead of his time in many ways. Ahead of his time in terms of, absurdist comedy, podcasting, and, other things. And now the culture is caught up to the point when people are realizing it. And that's why movies like Freddy Got Fingered are, now cult hits. I was recently rewatching Little Nicky.
That's another movie I rewatched. I was like, what the fuck is this?
The turning point, of course, for comedy is 9/11, which I'm saying today on September 9th, 2025. But no, the turning point for comedy is many, bits of culture and politics is 9/11, because that kind of surreal, absurdist humor did not do super well prior to 9/11, because it just goes with how culture and the wider world work hand in hand. For example, during the 50s, you have a lot of sci-fi movies that are, every sci-fi movie is like a Cold War allegory to some extent. And in the 70s, you have lots of horror movies because it was a difficult time. And then in the 80s, a lot of horror movies are, can be read as an allegory for AIDS and so on and so forth. But the late 90s and, up until 9/11 were a prosperous, peaceful, widely period, that end of history period. And so that kind of surreal, absurdist humor didn't do very well at that time. But I was rewatching it just because it showed up in YouTube free with ads, and I was doing some other work. And that's what I do. At my desk, if I'm doing paperwork or admin or editing photos or what have you, I get my phone and I turn on YouTube free with ads movies because they're free. And I'll just if something's on there that I've seen before a million times, I turn on and just occupy that part of my brain that wanders. Or if it's something new and I can have enough of an attention span, I'll watch that too. And yeah, Little Nicky came on and I was like, yeah, I'll watch this. And I was like, haven't seen it in a long time. This is ahead of its time. As strange as that sounds, this did not do well when it was released in 2000. Too weird for the period. Similar to Freddy Got Fingered. If either of those things were made today and released as direct to streaming movies, they would do fantastically well, and there'd be a niche market for them.
Adam Sandler, Little Nicky 2. Let's not do the same thing that we did with Happy Gilmore. Let's go.
I mean, you can totally see that occurring, and they could even get Harvey Keitel back possibly. Mm-hmm. He's still alive. Rodney Dangerfield is gone, but Grandpa Lucifer would have moved on by that point, and maybe they can do an AI Rodney Dangerfield. There's enough media of him out there. So many Tonight Show.
I'm sure you could find a way to just replace the character somehow. They would find a way to do it. Just have fun with it. Just have some other Adam Sandler friend show up.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Kevin James. Just have it be Kevin James for funsies.
Yeah, he'd be cousin something or other.
Yeah. I mean, there's all kinds of things. I feel like Adam. I don't know how I feel about all the movie resurgences, but I do think that Little Nicky, that's an interesting one. That movie's of its time for sure. Another movie of its time Really? But you say it's ahead of its time.
No,
But
I mean it is ahead of its time because I would argue that it is kind of ahead of its time because it doesn't fit like. I mean, in some ways, it kind of has that gross out comedy feel of the, late '90s, early 2000s. But like how absurd and surreal and weird it gets, and how strange the characters are, that's edging on Adult Swim humor. Post
I guess you're
9/11.
right. Because that wasn't really going on much, right? Just characters that are that weird in a comedy.
No, because there just wasn't
that absurdism, I should say.
Yeah, there just wasn't the appetite for it. When things are normal, people like normal entertainment.
I guess when I watched the movie, I didn't think about that at all.
Yeah, when things get weird, and that's post 9/11, the rise of internet humor, which can be more absurd and surreal, and the rise of Adult Swim kind of humor.
Yeah,
that's when things start to get weird, and something like Freddy Got Fingered or Little Nicky would do much better in that kind of environment. The Water, as far as like the goofy Adam Sandler movies go, The Water Boy came first, and it's it feels like that was as far as they could go with that before it stopped working too well. And then Little Nicky was like when they went they went too far, and then they started playing it safe with Mr. Deeds. It's a critical evaluation of Adam Sandler movies.
I'm trying to think if he ever went any goofier than that, just full goofy. I don't think he did.
I mean, Jack and Jill, quite possibly.
Yeah, that's full. That's full Adam Sandler too. That movie's a fever dream. If there's ever been,
it's almost like he was a parody of himself.
Yeah,
and then that could just be read as like, postmodern comedy if you want to get really
because Grown Ups are sort of going that way, but Jack and Jill is a whole different.
A little bit, but Grown Ups just feels like a bunch of stuff that happens.
Yeah,
it feels like, hey, let's get our buddies and make a Hollywood movie, and they do that. And the plot is just kind of loose and a bit aimless.
God, the fact that Al Pacino is really in Jack and Jill, I just can't believe it. Like, it still blows my mind to this day that exists.
It's funny. It's just like John. It's just like John C. Reilly doing actual good dramatic work, but also making time to play with
Will Ferrell.
And do those kind of movies as well. Who am I trying to think? Oh, well, also like constantly coming back to do Tim and Eric stuff.
Oh, right. Whatever that character's name is.
Dr. Steve Brule.
Yeah, Steve Brule.
Rules. Yeah.
He still reprises that role all the time.
I don't know what they've made lately, but like it's just an example of like how unpretentious his career is. Like doing.
The first time I ever saw him was Step Brothers.
Yeah,
and
like
that was
doing actual movies and then doing something like Step Brothers.
It's funny to me because that's how I was introduced to him, as Step Brothers, and then I fucking saw him in Magnolia, and I'm like, wait, huh?
I mean, like going back to Dumb and Dumber, it's similar to like Jeff Daniels' career. He was known as a dramatic actor,
and that was kind of a risk for him, right?
Yeah,
before that movie.
Yeah, he was known as a dramatic actor, and he got the script, and his agent told him, "Don't do this; it'll destroy your career." And he wanted to do it so badly, he accepted like whatever the SAG minimum was for actor salaries. While by that point, Jim Carrey had. By that point, I believe Ace Ventura had already come out, so Jim Carrey could command a much higher salary than originally.
Yeah.
Then I think it was during production of Dumb and Dumber that The Mask came out, and I think Jim Carrey still has that distinction. And then Dumb and Dumber came out later that same year. I think Jim Carrey still has the distinction of being like one of the only, if not the only, Hollywood actors to have 3 #1 movies in the same year.
Really?
There's a great video essay I watched about that.
Whoa, 3.
Yeah, because before that he was just known for being on In Living Color and like the Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. The first one was shot when nobody knew who the hell he was, and then The Mask. I don't recall how those two productions overlapped, but by the time Dumb and Dumber was ready to go into production,
there's something about Harlan Williams was supposed to play that role. I can't remember if that was a fake story or what it was, but I swear there's some story where like
in which movie,
because of Jim Carrey's propulsion into popularity, like at a point he wasn't going to be the character in Dumb and Dumber, but then he got so popular that the studio was just like they were so tied to him. But there was a point when it was going to be someone else. I thought that was a story, and I can't remember.
I don't know. I've not heard that.
I maybe it's just hard. If you're familiar with Harlan Williams, he just makes shit up sometimes.
Well, he's also in that movie. He has the small part of the traffic cop who drinks the pee.
Yeah, yes, which is such a good scene, dude. I can't even make the sound. I would make the sound to reference the scene.
I can't do that either. But like, you know, Alex and I will quote that sometimes. Come on, give me that booze, you pumpkin pie haircutted freak. Come on.
What's his movie? Space.
I just got to say one more. We'll, we'll also like throw this one out there every once in a while. You fellas been doing a bit of boozing, have you? Sucking back on Grandpa's old cough medicine? That it comes out every once in a while.
Which, if you're familiar with Harlan Williams at all, he does stand-up normally. Yeah. That's definitely him doing improv. It's like when Robin Williams does improv, and you can kind of tell. Like, that is the type of thing some Harlan Williams would say. He's a great comic. He's been around forever, and I don't think he's changed like at all.
He's also in Freddy Got Fingered.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea. Oh, that's great. Wow. Yeah, Harlan is so funny. Like, he's one of the few people I think is actually just funny. Like, he's naturally funny. Like, even comedians I meet, I really think that's what makes you a good comic, is if I'm just talking to you and you're just funny. It's just such a kind of hard thing to replicate in a person.
Yeah.
Like, you can try to do that, but you can't force it. Just some people are just funny. It's just the way it is. And yeah, Harlan Williams. What's his movie? Rocket Man? Space? It's about going to space. It's some space comedy.
I don't recall, but
it's
one of my favorite YouTube channels, I think, did a recent video essay about it.
Yeah, I want to see it because I've heard so many good things, and I think it's one of his big comedy movies. It's like him. I think it's the one, and I'm just pretty sure that it's the only one. I don't think he did very many other movies as like the main character, as far as I'm concerned. He's not like a leading guy. I mean, he is so sexy though. Yeah, I just saw Jurassic Park for the first time. Can you believe that? The first time ever. That was nice. It's another movie that's very popular. I just watched for the first time. I do this every now and then. I watch a very popular movie for the first time. I bet you still got a couple in you, because I always feel like I haven't seen anything. So if you can you tell me something to comfort me, like something that's really popular that you haven't seen?
Just overall, it's a timeless art form. So
there's a million things you haven't.
You can always get around to it later.
But there's got to be like okay, Lord of the Rings, haven't seen it.
I mean, I'm not really into shaming people who haven't seen a thing.
There's so many things.
There's a lot of things.
Fight Club, I haven't seen that.
Especially nowadays with the amount of TV shows there are. It's like, have you seen series? And every one of them is episodic, and I have to watch 2 years of a show before I get to the one that you're talking about. Reminds me of an Onion article I saw several years back during that peak TV period that said, like, local man not accepting any more TV recommendations at present. And it was just a stock photo of just a gray-faced man, just like looking entirely burnt out.
Yeah, because I mean, so I can't remember who it was. Carl Sagan, I want to say, and I think he's in a library, and he's like, okay, in this library, there's this many books. If you were to read a book for every single week of your life, you would only read half of the books in this library. Yeah. And that's just putting into scale. Like, I think about that all the time, like with movies, with everything. You can't listen to everything. You can't watch everything. It's impossible. Like, every single time you're making a choice, like you're picking like what. And that's kind of why I think I just got to run through a lot of the classics, get those out of the way, and then like get some fun ones in every now and then. I really just feel like because I feel like cinema literacy, like film literacy, if you want to understand things better, I do think it helps to know a lot of the big movies that everybody kind of knows. It does actually help.
I mean, they're classics for a reason.
Exactly.
They're not the end all be all, but it's good to just have knowledge of canon.
And I think there's so many things that you won't get if you haven't seen those things. Like, obviously references, but also like even visual cue, like someone like Quentin Tarantino. He's great if you're somebody who really is a film fan, in the sense that he does steal pretty much everything. So if you know what he's stealing from, you're like, oh, this shot was like a Western shot, and this shot was like this, because that is what he's doing. So like there is like an element to that too, where you can understand so much more what's happening if you've seen all these different kinds of movies. Like, I mean, obviously, like, even just knowing what a certain camera angle is can be so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you haven't seen anything, I don't know. It's almost like ignorance is bliss. I don't know which is better. I don't know if it's better to know what's going on or if it's better to just not even think about any of that and just enjoy. Because at a certain point, you know too much. I think if you make movies, you start watching movies differently, right? You start thinking about things, not like an audience, but like a filmmaker. And
Yeah,
that's
but
different.
you appreciate the good better.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You that's a
I'm
great
not
point.
like a pessimist. I'm not into like exclusively being like, oh, everything sucks now because I know too much. It's like, get over yourself. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, how many like movies would you say you watch in a month? Do you watch a lot of movies or do you kind of like do you have a casual? Like, do you just kind of watch them every now and then?
I mean, I don't know. I get really busy with just like day-to-day life stuff as well as the Kino Crew production things. But, you know, if, you know, I'm working on something over the weekend and I need some entertainment to keep myself engaged, I'll put something on. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the answer to that is I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how I quantify that, but, you know, when certain things in my life calm down a little bit, I would enjoy watching more. So, you know, that because that would help me learn more.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And again, like, it's a balance because you can't just watch every movie and like want to learn the movie. At a certain point, it's just like remembering, oh yeah, I just love this thing. I just like watching movies. Like, I just really like doing it. Oh, I just like music. I just like listening to music. Oh, I just like reading books. Like, at a certain point, I just like seeing good pictures. I just like good paintings. Like, everything doesn't have to be critical. Everything doesn't have to be amazing. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It makes things that are bad better. Like, you know, like when things are mediocre, it's kind of great in itself. It's kind of beautiful, you know. You kind of can appreciate that a little more. Like and things are always going to be bad. I also think that. I think there's always going to be okay things and then great things, you know. I can't watch shows. The other thing you said, I cannot watch shows. If I was going to try to watch, like, I can't even believe that people think like they're surprised when you haven't watched a show. I can't. I literally can't. Like, I've thought about this before because I've watched shows like Game of Thrones. I watched all the way through. Sopranos I watched most of the way. Sopranos I might watch just because I know that's so good, but I just can't. The Wire, I guess I could rewatch. These are both shows that I've pretty much already watched. Breaking Bad I might rewatch just because I know they're all good, but it's like to invest in a show. I wouldn't want to rewatch Game of Thrones because that show gets so bad. I don't know if you watch that, if you're a fan of that.
I learned it from the memes.
If you're a storytelling nerd like me who gets upset when storytelling rules are broken and all this, that show commits so many sins in the last 2 seasons. Like, I can't even believe there's a casual audience who accepts what they've done to that show. It's, oh my God, the most critical failure of any show ever is Game of Thrones. I really think that. But so anyway, yeah, I can't even. It's one of those reasons I know, like Dexter, I've heard that show's good. Maybe the first 3 seasons are good. I will not watch a show where it's good. I know it's going to get bad. I can't. I literally can't give my life away like this. Like, I can't. I was talking to my mom about this just the other day. I'm like, I could watch a movie. I could definitely watch a 3-hour movie. That's nothing. But a show? Are you kidding me? I can't. It'd have to be so good. I skimmed through Squid Game. I did skim through that just to see what they're doing in the new season. Not a fan.
Yeah.
Still not a fan. I'm glad I didn't watch it. I skimmed. Because I know how these things work. Most shows are always the same. It's always like the first season was good, and then they're now trying to capture the lightning of the first season, and almost never can they do it. It's like movie sequels. It's the same thing. What blows my mind, too, is Jaws, because having just seen Jurassic Park, Jaws is like the first ever good, great cinematic movie to come out, blockbuster movie, then to have terrible sequels. It's actually like the prototype of terrible sequels. And then Spielberg again makes Jurassic Park. He's like, all right, I'm going to make the second one just so the sequels aren't bad again. And then they're worse. They're the worst ever. So I feel like they're just cursed. It's so funny because Jaws really did lay the groundwork for every bad sequel that's ever come out after. really was there a bad sequel before Jaws 2? I don't think so. I think it's the first one. It kind of is crazy to me. That's only like 70s when we had the first bad sequel. You would think it would have came sooner. Bad sequels are another thing. I can't. I told you before, there are bad things. You got to enjoy them. A bad sequel is like, oh my God. It's like, it's so, what, we're on John Wick 5 now? Can we just stop doing this? I just don't like it. Jurassic World, they keep like Jurassic, but Star Wars has been dragged out more than anything. And like, of course, people will watch it because they like the original thing. But you can't just bring everything back.
I don't know how they keep getting insurance for the dinosaur parks.
Right?
None of them goes well.
But that's the thing, is how do you write these movies? There's no, okay, we mentioned earlier storytelling. These movies are always like, they're starting with point Z. Like they're starting with, okay, what's the crazy bombastic thing we can do with the dinosaurs now? Not like what makes sense in the universe we've created. That's like an afterthought. It's like, how do we get, I know how we'll get people to come to our dinosaur movie. We'll make a dinosaur monster that looks like it doesn't even look like a dinosaur anymore. It looks like a monster. And also the part of the plot of the movie is like people don't care about dinosaurs anymore, because totally that makes sense, right? Like if dinosaurs were around, we would just get tired of them. Right. I just can't. It makes I don't understand how this happens. It actually upsets me. I can't. Movie sequels. I mean, there's so many bad sequels. Oh, just Marvel now in general is like a sequel on sequel on sequel on sequel. It's just gotten to a point where it's like, maybe they can turn it around. I don't know how you feel about the Marvel movies. I'm actually hopeful for Avengers. With everything I just said, I think Avengers might be okay. I heard Fantastic Four was all right. I don't know if you saw that either. I just don't know about any superhero movies. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not really into superhero movies, so like the Marvels movies never really appealed to me.
DC either? You didn't watch any of them?
I don't know why. I've never been interested in superhero stories, but I'm happy if other people like them.
Dark Knight? You like Dark Knight?
They're fine. I'm just not like a big Chris Nolan fan.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Why not?
I just find him boring.
I think he's a bit stylist, like style over substance.
I've seen a couple, and I just find him boring. Like I felt the Dark Knight was boring to me. Oppenheimer was boring. Yeah, just not like a big fan. But if other people like him, then I don't care. Go like what you like.
Of course. I've just never heard anyone really critique him. And I guess boring is
I wouldn't say that's a critique. That's just the feeling I got when I tried watching him.
No, I do get it, though. Because his movies are kind of, they're how would you say? They're kind of like they just drone a little bit. And not even, I like the way they do that. But I agree with that. They kind of like drone in this. And it's kind of the way he makes them. Especially later on, the more and more you go. Like Tenet was a droning movie. Tenet drones on. You can watch Tenet and still not get it. And then you have to watch it again. And I don't even know if I like that about the movie. I think I do. But Dunkirk, I heard, is all right. I didn't see that one yet. And then I didn't see Oppenheimer either, but I heard that criticism from, not just from you, that it was kind of boring, which I was surprised to hear, considering it's a movie about nuclear bombs. Kind of hard to make that boring.
Yeah, it's kind of like Darkest Hour. That was described as boring Dunkirk. And I watched that, and I felt like, man, how do you make...
Is that Tom Hanks?
No.
Who's Darkest Hour? Is
that was
also
Gary Oldman playing Winston Churchill, and I thought, like, how do you make this story dull? This is one of the most like thrilling, dramatic bits of military history ever. Yeah. And you made the movie boring.
It's actually impressive that
how did you do that?
Right. Did you see the movie 1917?
Oh yeah, that was fantastic.
You like that? See,
yeah.
I thought it was a bit gimmicky with the whole one-shot thing, but I liked it overall.
I mean, you could feel that way. It was technically impressive, and I felt the one shot, especially the way they shot certain scenes when they had the camera on the character doing the action, especially as they were running, as opposed to like a POV shot. I thought that heightened the tension because you can only see what they see. You can't see as the audience the rest of what they see. So it's sort of fun, like bit of analogous anxiety as part of the story.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I just feel like it's so. I saw Quentin Tarantino talking about it, the most opinionated person of all time, and he was saying something I do agree with, that like the movie, if you're marketing the movie as a one-shot movie, they don't even really do that long of one-shots in the movie for one-shots. Like, yeah, you're doing oneers, but you're only doing them for like 8 minutes. You're not doing
but that's
25-minute cuts.
Yeah, but an 8-minute runner is still really hard.
Oh, yeah. No, and that's why it's like, of course, Quentin Tarantino would say this, of all people. But
Right.
when I heard him say it, I guess he is sort of right, because, like, it's more about how you hide the cuts. Like, I think Birdman actually did it better. And Birdman didn't market it like that. It just kind of happened to be a part of Birdman. I think
It's also like just a bit of... It's also just like a storytelling, feature that's a lot easier to do with today's technology.
Oh yeah, because it's all editing tricks again. Like you're not actually going to shoot a feature length film.
Editing
in one
tricks
shot.
and being able to film more than a 10-minute magazine.
Yeah, well, digital changed everything.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Exactly,
You don't have to, you're not restricted to a 10-minute magazine. You can
And
film much
people
longer
still
on
do
digital.
film though. I mean, if you had the opportunity, all the money in the world, would you choose film or digital?
Oh, digital.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Just because of convenience?
Well, convenience. It's easier to back it up. I mean, like in the conversations in between talks here, you can back up digital files easier than you can film.
Yep. Film would be a nightmare because it's all about it takes up so much space, right?
Well, it's physical storage, and then there's the expense of scanning it digitally, and it's just like considered to be a massive pain in the ass to work with because of course you can't have light leaks, you can't have hair in the gate. It's just more susceptible to, the dirt and damage.
And then you have your original copy, and then your other copies.
Yeah,
and
you
never really want to even touch the original copy.
Yeah,
right?
you have the camera negative and the inner positives as you're making your way to the a release print. What's really funny about that is listening to, so digital, and my backing up in this is listening to, documentaries with aging filmmakers who started on film and then eventually made movies in digital, specifically Sidney Lumet and William Friedkin. So, you have like the Tarantinos and the Nolans talking about how they'll only shoot on film and they like the process. That's good for them. But I just find it amusing when directors who made more movies than them talk about how much of a pain in the ass film was to work with and how much they love working on digital. Like a Sidney Lumet, he only filmed his final movie Till the Devil Knows You're Dead. I think that's the title. It's escaping me at this time, but he filmed that one entirely digitally after a entire career of 50 years just filming on film, and talked about how much he loved it. And then William Friedkin turned to digital later in his career. And there's just a very funny interview. I think it's from the WTF with Mark Maron podcast, when he's just ranting about how much he hates 35 millimeter prints. How difficult they are to work with, how susceptible they are to damage, and then how you can't control the elements, and how they fade over time. And I just find that very amusing after you hear like contemporary filmmakers waxing romantic about how much they're filming and shooting on film.
And in a way, I think both are probably right, because there is a certain element to film that cannot be replicated through digital. Correct? Like I think film feels different.
That's right. It does feel different, but digital filters can't entirely reproduce that look yet, but they can get close. And you can also do what they did on the Dune movies. They shot them digitally and did all post-production digitally, but then they recorded the final cut to film, which is actually an archival process that is done these days with digital cinematography, because nobody knows how long a digital file will last these days. It's still far too early to tell for it to be a reliable archival medium.
It's kind of backwards. So we're putting film on digital on film to save it.
Well, yeah, because nobody knows the longevity of digital files yet. And
right.
Like there were, I'll finish the thing about Dune first, but like on Dune, they filmed it digitally.
It's like gold, though. It's like you need physical wealth rather than digital wealth because you don't know. It's the same principle. But continue.
Like, the Dune movies. The Denis Villeneuve, the French fellow.
That's an incredible technique. They did film at the end.
Basically, they shot it digitally and then they recorded onto film, and then for release, the release was a DCP of that film recording so that it would have that look,
filmic quality.
Yeah, in a way.
Look. And that works. I mean, those are other movies.
It looks good.
I think Villeneuve is
Oscar.
Amazing, and I still haven't watched those movies, Dune or Dune Part 2. I've seen a lot of his other movies.
I watched the first. I saw the first one in the theater. I think 2 or 3 times. But yeah, like,
and it looks like film, even though they didn't shoot it on film because of the way they did that.
It's got a bit of that feel to it still. Yeah.
I wonder how there's no way you could compare it. I just wonder how it would look compared to if they just shot on film to begin with. Obviously,
I'm not sure.
You just can't compare it. It'd be an impossible thing to do.
Yeah.
But wow, what a strategy. That's cool. They would even do that.
But also, like, when it comes on the subject of the archival mediums, because at this point in history, digital is still like relatively new as an archival medium. So nobody knows how long a digital file will last until it becomes corrupted or obsolete or what have you. So movies are still like recorded back onto film as an archival medium because their longevity is known and has been studied in the over a century since it was first developed. And it's no pun intended, and it's very well established now when it comes to film preservation. If you keep physical film in a dry, cool environment, it will last hundreds of years, as opposed to a digital file. Not entirely sure how long that
hard drive
will last yet.
Regular hard drives lifespan, I think, just if used regularly, is 10 to 15 years at most.
Right.
I'm almost positive that's true.
Yeah.
Which is not 100 years. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah.
I mean, a regular hard drive. That's something I was looking into when I was buying hard drives, because it's like you don't want to get one, and often you buy them and they fail or they don't work. That's a big thing. Like, you just get sent to you and it doesn't work. That's something you'll see often with hard drives. Like, physical media is not as fun as you would like it to be. SSDs are nice, but even those, they're not perfect.
Well, yeah, physical media, it's difficult to work with as a creative. It can be difficult to work with as a
And it adds up.
As a medium of creation. Yeah,
I mean, if you're working with video files, especially, audio is one thing. Video's an animal.
Yeah.
Video eats data.
Yeah, but archivally, physical media still has its place because the long-term effects are known.
Yeah. And I think film, what's interesting about film, too, right, is when you see these 4K, you see a 4K version of a film from 1960 come out. It's because it was on film.
That's correct. Yeah, and they think that no one really knows what the digital equivalent of a 35 millimeter film print would be, but it's generally agreed upon that it's somewhere between 4K and 5K.
Really? That's nuts.
Yeah, so
because it looked like shit back then. Everyone was watching it look okay, right?
Well, it depends on the source material. It depends on where it's coming from. If you're watching a print struck off the original negative, it's going to look good, especially if it's well preserved and well made. A lot of release prints from that period are just unusable because if they even survive, because they fade over time because they were made with the lower quality stock because they only had to last for release.
Right.
So no, it depends entirely on where the source is coming from. If it's struck from an original negative, if the original negative exists because that was the original piece of film to go through the camera.
Right.
Or if you're watching a dupe, because the other thing that's restrictive about analog media is every time you make a copy of a copy, the quality degrades. So
just like digital, it's actually the same either way. You can't just copy a file over and over. You can, but anytime there's any compression at all, it's just gonna it's exponential.
That's compression. If you literally copy and paste a file, it's the same file.
Yeah.
Compression's a different thing, but if you copy a film print to a film print to a film print, the quality degrades over time.
Okay.
So it depends on where the source is coming from. So when you see a properly, a DVD from a proper restoration where it's from the original camera negative and it has been, fading's been fixed and it's the image is physically, or otherwise cleaned of scratches and dirt, then that's why it'll look good. And sometimes if you watched it contemporaneously, it just might not look that good because the film print might be old, might be dirty, might have been run too many times. So that's how that works.
Huh. Interesting. And then obviously when these restorations come out, I mean, this is a big thing, I've seen debates on now too, where it's like people prefer the look of the film, but there's no real specific, like from my understanding, there's all these videos on YouTube and it's like 35 millimeter scan versus 4K, and it's like comparing the two. But the problem is whatever color grading you've got going on your 35 millimeter scan is just whatever, like it's never the same. Like if I was to take a film that I bought online, I have the stills from a movie and I have the scan myself, and because at least this is how the video I saw was explaining it. And so then they took that, I think they did the movie Seven, because this was a movie that got restored recently, and this was the debate around the movie, did the movie look different upon its release? And the people are saying it did, but it's a question of really film and like what quality of the film did the people see it in, because the color grading might look different on a film compared to what you saw on digital. That's almost always the case. The color grading is just dramatically different on the film.
Yeah, I think I saw that same video, and yeah, that's correct. It depends on the source material. Again, it depends on how you saw it in the theater. The failings of the human memory come into play too.
Yep.
And then that's
probably the most major element of the whole thing.
Yeah,
I swear the movie was blue.
And then you have the factor of the director's original vision.
Which is it? Is it the one that you saw, or the one you think you saw at least,
right,
or is it what the guy released that he says is closer to his original vision? Like if he's telling you that's what it is, how is he wrong? He directed the movie.
Exactly.
But all these 4K restorations, that's something that just keeps coming up. The more and more you see it, the more it's going to happen, right? It's like, is it the original intent? Because they're regrading everything, which is nuts to even think about.
Well, sometimes you have to just do that to fix a faded print.
Exactly,
and
they have to, yeah.
And that's where things can get complicated, because you might not have like a living memory of what it should look like, and you have to depend on other research.
Naturally biased, how do you escape your own bias and just do it the way that it's supposed? You'd have to just, I think, side by side comparison, right? It's the only way. You have to just constantly cross reference if you really want to get it right and match the original.
Either that, or it depends on the source materials that you have. If everything you have is faded, you have to rely on something like a prop from the original movie to use as like a benchmark to figure out how to set all the levels.
I never thought about that. Like if you didn't even have a reference, you had nothing, because that is kind of what it's like for some of these movies.
Yeah.
Oh my God. There's like a lot of big, like well-known movies that there's no great existing original film copies of, right?
Oh, sure. There are a lot of lost movies.
God damn, that's nuts. Digital really is the best. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
you can't have that with digital. That won't happen.
Yeah, well, that's what we just talked about.
I've never really thought about it this way.
Well,
though.
we don't know that yet. That's
we
why
don't know, but
that's why we recorded on the film.
In the sense that, like, okay, the OG copy, it's never gonna go bad. If I film on digital, if I move the file over, like you said, unless there's compression, it's always the same file. Whereas with the film, sure, you have the original copy, but you always only have that original copy, and you're never going to have a copy that's as good as that one, so you better take care of it. Well, you don't have that with digital.
Well,
you don't have to worry about that.
Well, that's what we think about digital now, but we haven't seen the super long-term effects of it yet.
Oh, like let's say 1,000 years?
No, let's say like 50 years. They're we only.
You're
only
telling me
20.
a file getting passed around for 50 years, and maybe it's going to get worse?
We don't know yet. That's why we rely on like established archival mediums for some of this stuff.
I never even considered these things. I mean, I heard somebody say on a video, just some one of these like alarmist people saying, if the rate of data, like the way that we accrue data, if it keeps going the exponential rate we've been doing, we've been going at, in the next, I can't remember the number, but let's just say 300 years, we're just going to have so much physical data, like space that is required for the physical data, we won't have any more room for it. We won't even have any room. Within like 300 years is what they're saying.
Okay.
There was some number that like doesn't sound real, but then I thought about it. I'm like, I guess, well, how much, like, because you don't think about data as like a physical thing. Like most people don't think about that, like a file. You don't think of a file as taking up physical space, but it does. And like if you have so much data, and it really is exponential. I mean, 4K to 8K to 12K to whatever. It's just going to keep being bigger.
Yeah.
Where does data go?
I don't know yet.
No one knows. Literally no one. This is the only time I've ever seen anyone talk about it was on this podcast wherever they were saying this. And I was like, damn, that's a good point. Like, if there's just more and more data and nowhere to put it, like, what happens? No one knows. It's just a question mark. Like, we don't know. Because we don't think of it that way. Like everything's on a cloud somewhere at a certain point. It's not here. I don't have to worry about it. But it does exist somewhere. I mean, even ChatGPT, that's one that's kind of brought that to attention because now it is running on a hard drive somewhere. I mean, all that stuff being powered by something. It's not just this magical website, but that's only been called into question in the last like 2 years. And so that's like only going to get worse. There's going to be giant like facilities just for computing your laundry or whatever you're going to use AI for. Oh my God. I mean, I still haven't seen that movie either. AI. Spielberg.
Oh, okay. Cool.
It's got my boy Sora from Kingdom Hearts. What's his name? Hayden. God, I'm not going to remember it. But he plays Sora in Kingdom Hearts. Great guy. Great guy.
So real quick, I'm just looking at the time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we can get out of here whenever.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's wrap it up soon because it's almost 11 o'clock and I got work tomorrow. And I know you need pictures, right?
Oh, yeah. I got to take a couple little pretty pictures of us. Yeah. So let me think. What's a fun thing to wrap this up with? I mean, I do the same thing at the end every time. So I guess I should just ask you first. Is there anything you wanted to mention on here? You think we nailed it all? I think
we got the Kino Crew story. And we talked about the most recent installment, and I'm sure when Gobblehead 4 is ready, we can make the rounds again.
You got any like teasers for? I guess Gobblehead is the big teaser. That's the big thing we can look forward to coming from Kino.
Oh, for Gobblehead 4.
Yeah, Gobblehead 4.
It is entirely unlike the other three. That is all I'm gonna say.
All right. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, that's fun.
You'll have to wait for us to serve it up on Thanksgiving 2025. We're serving up the screams.
Yeah. And then
of holiday horror. Yeah.
And so again, with this installment of Gobblehead existing, do you think that it takes it to another level? Would you even be willing to say that?
In a way it does.
Woo! We're getting the scoop on here. This is crazy. In a way it does, he says.
So you'll have to find out the rest later.
You're a salesman at heart, can you tell?
Well, that's what you gotta do. The movies cost money. I gotta bankrupt this studio.
But for real, guys, Gobblehead is awesome. Gobblehead is some classic horror, classic prop horror, classic fun horror.
Comedy horror,
yeah. And it's a fun movie to watch with the homies. There's not enough of that. Horror is having a renaissance, though, and more of that's coming back, and Gobblehead should be entering your life. So if you haven't seen it, make sure you check it out. Kino Crew, again, this is their third time appearing on Ruse Radio. We already had the first two founders. This is founder number 3 of Kino Crew. So for real, just much gratitude to Kino Crew. Love what you guys do. Loads is a masterpiece. Should I just say that? It's a masterpiece.
Hell yeah.
I mean, it really is like a fun... I think it's like any movie like that, what I like about it is the concept is so good, it's kind of hard to mess it up. Like, it's a great concept to even start with. Like, it's a movie about loads.
I'm happy to hear that.
It's so alluring that, like, you're gonna get people to watch it no matter what.
They said it couldn't be done.
So, from the bottom of my heart, like, yeah, I love it. It's all good stuff. And this is the end of the podcast where you tell the people where they can find you guys. So the social medias, where they might see a screening, any of that information. And then also, or if they can find it digitally too, I suppose. Any of your stuff digitally at all, where they would find that.
You can find us on the World Wide Web at www.kinocrewproductions.com. It's KINOCREW Productions, spelled as you would, .com. On them interwebs. Ask your parents for permission before going online and using their credit card. And you can find our released work on YouTube at Kino Crew Productions. And you can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Kino Crew Productions. That's why we worked so hard on the name, so it would be unique and we could claim all those handles. And they were all available. And that is where you can find our work and find updates about projects and watch what we've publicly released. Loads is not yet publicly available. You will have to attend a in-person public, special screening when we
You'll
announce
have to be
those.
within Loads reach.
Oh yes, you'll have loads of fun.
Yeah.
And you can come see it publicly somewhere.
Yeah.
We'll
Sometime
announce
soon,
it.
right? If
We
you
have a-
look at Kino Crew social media, that's where
our social media and our email newsletter
Ooh,
for
holy
folks
shit.
who do not have social media.
I think I'm on it.
If you
actually.
got people of parent age who aren't on the MySpace as much, they can subscribe to the email
you on
list.
Hotmail, you on Gmail, you on Yahoo Mail,
We can do all of those mails.
any of them
So
really.
you can find us.
There's more mails than that too. I just
And,
named it the top 3.
And that is where you can find us.
And then also a message for the children, the kids who listen to this whole thing. They're on the school bus right now, and they know that we're wise men. We're smart guys with advice, with wisdom, with inside of our brains. We know things, and you are going to lay out a piece of wisdom they can take home. They can use something smart that I know you got in you. And there it goes. The floor is yours.
I say, good, great, grand, wonderful. No yelling on the bus. But no, that's just from Tommy Boy. I'll turn this damn bus around. That'll ruin your precious field trip pretty damn quick. No,
No one's ever been the bus driver before, by the way. That's the
Oh,
first.
good. I'm happy I'm the first one because that's all I think of when that topic comes up.
That was really good. Is that the answer?
I'm not sure.
I kind of like just ending it with a Tommy Boy impression.
I don't know. Like, what's the age of these kids? 'Cause
Let's say 10, 12,
Oh, okay.
13.
I don't know. I'd just be more interested in oh, damn it. I don't know. I'd have to know what we were talking about before I gave advice.
I like that you're so measured in this answer.
I'm not.
I've seen
I'm not
people say that.
pretentious
I've seen people give terrible advice to
I'm not
children.
pretentious enough to know what I'd tell the kids.
Because I think the setup is kind of like an impossible setup. That's why I love the question. At the very end of the podcast, we just talked about all kinds of things. Definitely not things for kids. That's why I love it. It's at the very end, I ask you, all right, so now you got to, for the kids, what will you have to say? And it's just so funny.
It's a fun question. You get to see what happens.
Yeah, because you never really know how someone's going to answer that question. So
Yeah.
I love how measured you are, truly. You are probably the most unique answer I've ever gotten. And you didn't even
No
really...
yelling on the bus.
Yeah, you didn't even really answer the question. You just gave me an impression, and then you were like, you know what? I don't think I can answer that. I need more context. You know what?
I mean, I don't want to be boring. I don't want to say follow your dreams or something like that because everyone's gonna say something like that.
I've gotten that one before a couple times, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's helpful, but
Stay in school.
stay in school. Don't do drugs.
I've heard do drugs. I've heard that one a couple times now.
Yeah, brother.
Yep. Kids do drugs. I've heard that one, yeah. You hear all kinds of ones. It's hard to come up with good advice for the kids. So you know what? You're probably better off withdrawing. Just give advice to the adults. Just stick to that. Don't even talk to the kids, maybe.
I don't know. Advice to the adults.
Yeah. Now they're 18. Think 18-year-olds. Okay, how about that? How about advice to young filmmakers? That's a fun question. You got any advice to aspiring filmmakers?
Oh, totally. That I can see myself talking about. watch as many movies as you can to learn as much as you can about the art form, and then just learn about as many other topics as you can, because as we were discussing earlier, filmmaking is a combination of many different art forms. So just learn everything that you can, increase your reference level so that you can have the cultural literacy to not to make something good, but just like have motivated decisions when you're making something. That's the thing. Cultural literacy for motivated decisions. And also don't try to overdo it. If you only have one apartment, one location, one camera, one weekend, just make it work within those parameters. You don't have to push yourself. You don't have to kill yourself over the project. Use the resources you have to make something doable, and then advance from there. And then finally, there is no filmmaking prodigy. Along with things like film editing, one of the things that's distinctive about filmmaking is there are no prodigies. There are musical prodigies. You can, have the Mozart syndrome of perfect pitch and being able to hear and replicate any piece of music you play. There are, literary prodigies, people that just have it. There are no filmmaking prodigies. I watched a video essay about this too. There are no filmmaking prodigies because film is just such a it's art form that has a lot of things in it. I'm blanking.
Collaborative?
Not collaborative, cumulative. It's a pretty that's the best one I can think of.
Cumulative, okay.
Yeah, because as we were talking about, it combines everything.
And
painting,
when you're not
music,
familiar with film, you don't realize, like when you're naive and you don't fully understand, you don't realize how much must come together to make one good film.
Yeah, filmmaking is too complicated for anyone to be a prodigy.
Yeah, and then you appreciate the people who have made so many good films.
Yeah,
because it's so difficult to make one good one.
Yeah, like even people who have succeeded at an early age made some very bad early movies.
Yeah,
So yeah, there are no filmmaking prodigies. So that is inspiring that, you can do it too. And it's just all about learning.
And in general, right? Even outside of film, like it's just, you compare yourself to like the best case scenario. Like, oh, this person got famous like this. Like you're not that person. There are no prodigies truly most of the time. It's all like people who struggle forever and then all of a sudden. And even then it's just all of a sudden and then you have to keep doing the thing that you did. Yeah, it's not like you're done.
Yeah, that's just the video essay I watched. I thought it posited an interesting argument.
Yeah, I like that. I just like the idea of not having.
Are you still recording?
Yeah, it's being funky, but it's all working on there. I like the idea of there being no prodigies. Of just the fact that if I it looks like it reminds me of the J. Cole song. No role models. So it's the same thing. I think like it's. But in film in particular, that's any collaborative art form, anything where you're truly relying on other people. Like if you're in a sport, maybe it's the same. It doesn't really matter how good you are on your own. Yeah. It matters how good you can work in a team. Yeah. And that's a life lesson. That one can be for the kids. That's a sweet one. That's a good one. That's good enough for the kids.
Yeah, we can transpose it to the kids.
Yeah, that one's good enough. All right. With all that being said, folks, thank you for sticking around. Thank you for being here, sir.
Oh, thank you for having me.
And thank everybody for existing here on Ruse Radio. Clocking out. Double down, competition couldn't help him to rock. Missed the whole time, holy fell through the flock. That's an ordinary miracle, wealth to the block. It's a balance in the